Salt Hawk Football Pregame Show. We'll give you the ins and outs of tonight's game, plus lots of other useful or useless information. It's all in how you look at it. Now, settle back and get set to enjoy this week's Hutchinson Salt Hawk Football Pregame Show.
Well, hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Salt Hawk Football Pregame Show. Again, Glenn Grunwald, your host, with Dan Nacarado. Coach Dan Nacarado joining me in the booth as always. And Dan, tonight is
a great night for football.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
And it's senior night.
It's senior night. Going to have little festivities before the contest that are going to be taking place. And I understand the Hutch High Band, also the parents, senior parents and the Hutch High Band parents as well, will be down on the floor of Gowan Stadium.
A little bit longer halftime tonight, which is fine. We'll have plenty of good stuff.
Yep, you're going to have a special guest.
Special guest who knows quite a bit about broadcasting. Your friend and mine, Rusty Hilst, will join us at halftime tonight.
We'll see how his year has been, or his season has been so far. So anyway, well, tonight the Salt Hawks take on campus, and the Colts have not won a game yet this year, so we'll get to that more in the latter part of the pregame here. But let's go back to last week to the South High game, and I thought that Hutchinson played, without a doubt, their best first half of football. Their best half of football in that first half was outstanding. Led 30-7 at halftime and just dominated.
You're right, Glenn. The Salt Hawks looked very good. They looked sharp. They took advantage of Salina South miscues. Obviously, it's a pretty big gift when your opponent fumbles on the opening kick return of the game and gives you a short field, but Hutchinson took advantage of it. They scored. They took advantage of every opening Salina South gave them, and they built up a really nice lead with some long drives, too.
One in the second quarter was 9 minutes long, ended up with a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it was a 17-play,
something like that.
Drive.
It took forever. I aged. I know that. I know it was so long that I got a few more aches and bruises and can't remember as much. But anyway, no, just joking. It was a nice long drive. That's the type of football that Hutch High can play. Now, some people said, I was at church on Sunday, and they said, well, was it the fact that Hutch played that good, or was Salina South that bad? No, Salina South solid. It was Hutchinson played within themselves and took what South would give them, and that was bunches of yards.
That's right. They took between the tackles, most of it. Running the fullback between the tackles. Isaiah Duvall picked up 141 yards rushing, and almost all of those yards were just running between the tackles right up the middle. Offensive line did a fantastic job opening holes, and the running backs did a good job blocking for each other. Damon Cantu also had 109 yards, so between the two fullbacks, that's 250 yards of rushing just from the fullback position.
Yeah, and the final score was 44-21. Jalen Moriasi with 2 picks. One, he just about turned into 6. Got it down to the 1 yard line, and then unfortunately we fumbled in that possession after we got it back, but still he made the field position happen, ended up getting a safety out of it.
That's right, and it's always kind of a cool thing when you can put a 2-point score on the board by the defense, and then you get a short field after your opponent has to give you the ball again.
Yeah, and actually that was earlier in the contest in the first quarter, not the pick, but we held them back, and it was a bad snap, and they got the 2-point conversion.
37-yard punt snap.
Just about, yeah. It was.
I went back and checked it.
It was on the 27-yard line. So
and you were right. I went back and checked the film, and the line of scrimmage was the 27-yard line.
And just everything went right, and I'm so happy that the Salt Hawks got that nice win up there, and now it sets up a chance to put 2 in a row as they take on campus tonight. A great opportunity to do something here. Kids had to feel good in school this week.
It's always more fun. You always feel an inch or two taller after you win, and it's just it's a good feeling.
And I think we came out of it injury-free from what I could tell. Now, we do have some injuries that plagued us this year without some people. But I want to talk to you about the change on the offensive line. It seemed to work pretty well because you just mentioned we ran off tackle, and that had a lot to do with the changes that we made.
That's right. Levi Allen was the only offensive lineman that played at the same position he's been playing most of the year. He's at left tackle. Pennington moved to the left guard from his center position. Jonathan Fan moved to the center position from his right tackle position. Kepler went to right guard. Tajan James went to right tackle. So it was a reorganized offensive line. But I'll tell you what, we have not talked enough about Coach Sean Harper. Was a tremendous player at Hutchinson High School in his day, and now he's an outstanding coach. And when you watch film of different high schools around the state, nobody has offensive linemen that they're just firing off that ball with their shoulders low every single snap. They're getting to the second line of the defense, and Sean Harper just deserves a heck of a lot of credit for being a terrific offensive line coach.
And he made those changes. And Isaiah Duvall also, compared to the first couple games, he in the last 2-3 games has really given Hutchinson a shot in the arm, so to speak, at that fullback spot.
Well, you observed it, Glenn, and you were so right. He hits the hole quickly. It doesn't take him long to get up to full speed, and he's at that hole. And also, while we're giving credit around, let's give those running backs and the wide receivers credit, too. Kinzer Newquist is blocking from his wideout position. You got Jalen Barlow and Alec McEwen blocking from their slot back positions. You got the fullback. If he doesn't get the ball, he's carrying out his fake and taking a linebacker out of the play. You got Dallas Chambers, after he hands off the ball, carrying out his fake and maybe getting a free safety to take a few steps with him. Coach Adam Kroll's doing a fantastic job with those backs, and the players are giving it everything.
Yeah, they're responding. You get a 17-play, 9-minute drive and end up scoring. That says a lot, and it really frustrates. That defense gets tired out there. Lots of things happen, and plus your defense is able to get some rest on the sidelines, makes for a lot of difference. And of course, Hutchinson 30-7 led it, 30-7 at halftime. Could have been worse than that, and just went on to win it 44-21. A great win. We're going to take a quick break and come back and talk about that defensive effort, because I think those young men need to be talked about as well. We'll be back with more on the pregame before the big game coming up with Hutchinson and campus. We'll be back right after this.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Kansas. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back on the Salt Hawk pregame show. Glenn Grunwald, Dan Nacarado. Again, Sarah Peterson will be doing the videoing from the booth tonight. She'll be along with us a little bit. And then also, again, Joe Blake down the sidelines, courtesy, again, of Papa John's Pizza and Brown's Shoe Fit Company. I hope that Joe has some warm socks, warm shoes on tonight, because it's going to be a little nippy out there.
It's football weather.
It really, truly is. It bothers us, because we're cold, and I mean but we're in the booth. But I mean, it would bother us, but not those kids. They're resilient in football weather. That you get the sweating, your adrenaline's pumping. It doesn't matter. And those offensive and defensive linemen, I bet we'll see some short sleeves out there, and they'll just kind of be ready to go.
It has to be very cold, frigid cold, for a football player to notice it.
Yes, exactly. Let's talk about a couple of defensive players, specifically Jack Hover and Hunter Austin. We called their names a lot this year. Jack really had a game last week.
Those are the two inside linebackers for Hutchinson. Jack Hover plays the Eagle linebacker, and Hunter Austin plays the Hawk. And the defense is set up for those linebackers to cover a lot of ground. You want the defensive linemen to keep the blockers away from those two linebackers so they can go make tackles. And the outside linebackers, Dylan Peterson and Seldon Jones, along with Devin Hackney when he gets in the game, they've been making lots of tackles all season long, and they were especially good in that game against Salina South.
Well, another name we called late in the game, Mad Dog Maddox Hinaha, did a great job out there as well.
He's at the defensive back position. Tabin Smith is at the free safety. Peyton Cahoon was back. It was good to see Peyton Cahoon back in action again. Emilio Martinez has done a great job all year, but he's been coming back from an injury. They're hoping that he'll be back tonight. Also, hoping that David Waymeyer and Josiah Morgan will be available again tonight. So Salt Hawks ought to be pretty much at full strength on that defensive side of the ball tonight.
Should be a lot of proud parents in the stands, and plus the senior night with parents walking with their young men out there, as well as also we said the band also would be a big part of the parents in the band to be walking out there with their seniors. So senior night means a lot to these kids. There's not going to be a home game. We'll go on the road in the playoffs. It'll start next week. So this is their last hurrah right here at Gowan Stadium.
That's a special feeling when it dawns on you that, wow, I've been doing this for a long time, and this is the last opportunity I have to play in Hutchinson at Gowan Stadium in the blue and gold.
Senior count 20, 10 of them start, so that's going to be a big hole to fill, but we got some good underclassmen that are coming up, and we'll just have to see what happens with the off season, so to speak. But 10 seniors that start, 20 overall out of your whole program, and that's going to take a big toll on the Salt Hawks.
Yeah, every year those doggone seniors move on. My gosh, if we could sneak a fifth year out of some of them, just think how good we would be.
That's probably in the works someplace. There's probably a football program someplace that has a redshirt situation.
Well, it's not quite the same, but I saw an article about a high school in St. Louis that a player was supposed to be suspended. He was a senior. They gave him a different number. He went out there, and they said it was a freshman.
I saw that.
And it ended up the administration dismissed the entire coaching staff.
Yeah, fired the whole coaching staff.
We're done for the year.
Forfeit the rest of the season. Yeah, exactly. I guess he was kicked out of last year in a state championship game. And then the coaches it's like, okay, it's a mistake. You maybe could have a mistake, but not to change the number, and changed his name.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah. I think that administration made a good call on their corrective action.
No doubt about that. So you don't see that happening around here. And looking at the playoffs a little bit, we'll get a little bit deeper into it in the third segment, Dan. But situation where Hutchinson, because of a couple games, slipped away from them. Now, the Salinas Central game would maybe be pushing it, because Salinas Central played pretty good football that night. But we fumbled 3 times inside the red zone, 2 inside the 5-yard line that would have made a difference in that ball game, especially with the type of offense that Hutchinson had and had to grind it out. Then the Newton one just flat got away from us, same way, turnovers. Those are 2 wins that got away that I know it's ifs and buts, but we could have maybe had 2 more wins.
Well, there's no question about it. That's the way it goes. You turn the ball over and you don't get the opportunities to put points on the board that you've probably earned by the way you've been blocking and tackling and doing everything else. But if you give the ball away, it's hard to win games.
I see on your notes also that Caden Pennington has a little sore rib, so we're going to keep an eye on him. At the same time, he's in that offensive line. It's not like he's stretching out for a ball like a wide receiver or getting brought down like a running back. It shouldn't affect him too much.
No, he's been dealing with that for a couple of weeks now, so Caden Pennington's a tough young man, and he'll get it done. Something else that we became aware of is Jalen Barlow sustained an injury during that Salina South game, a hand injury, and I suspect that probably had a lot to do with
probably did. Sure did, but he should be wrapped up and good to go. We're going to take another timeout. We'll come back with the third segment. You can kick off at 7 o'clock coming up tonight, just around the corner, so be sure and join us. Come on out to the ball game. If you're sitting at home listening to this, get in the car and come on out, grab a blanket or whatever, and get all wrapped up, and you'll enjoy tonight's last home game for Hutch High. We'll be back with more right after this.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Kansas did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back on the Salt Hawk Countdown to Kickoff, so to speak, the Salt Hawk Pregame Show. Glenn Grunwald, Dan Nacarado. Good news this week. Gabe I was released from the hospital with the injury exactly a week to the day that he had that injury during a freshman football game with Derby. Went through a couple of surgeries, still under a lot of pain because of the broken back, and I think they're trying to just figure some things out, but he was able to go home, and that had to help that young man. They think he'll be back in school part-time at least, but more importantly is his folks, their life can get back to a little bit more of a normal thing. Insurance is going to help a lot, but you know what? Those parents have lost time at work, and that's why there's a GoFundMe account. So coming up on the 29th at Spangles on 4th Street, there's a fundraiser. I think also there's Scuttlebutts up on 10th and Main Street. The coffee shop there is having a fundraiser as well. So there's some fundraisers going around. Go to GoFundMe. You can actually go to either Facebook or go to HutchPost.com. I know the stories on HutchPost.com and the Facebook, and go to the GoFundMe account and help that family out if you can.
Whenever a situation like that occurs, it puts everything back in perspective, that these are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young men out there trying to compete. And suddenly the scoreboard doesn't seem quite as important when you have to go through the type of ordeal that Gabe I has gone through.
But his mom said he's going to be ready for football next year, so we'll see, and hopefully that can happen. But young man, it's good to see him up on his feet, and again, it will be great to see him back at school. I know a lot of his classmates, plus his teammates. Some good media coverage from our local media over in Wichita. Some good coverage by KSN and KAKE as well as KWCH as well. Did a great job with some of the stories with that family. So it's good to see, and kind of highlighted Hutch football a little bit.
That's true. Well said.
All right, let's look at tonight's ball game. Again, what is going to be what's campus going to look like?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Glenn, because something, if you're watching along on YouTube or the live stream, or if you're in the stadium, something that you are going to see right off the bat is right across from the center, the defensive nose guard for campus, 6'5", 340 pounds. It looks like a mountain is there in front of the ball when you watch film. You can't even see the center sometime from the end zone angle, but that's it. His name's Xavier Spohn, 6'5", 340. Now, Hutchinson High School has a center that goes close to 300 pounds, so that'll be an interesting matchup to watch every snap of the ball when Hutchinson has the ball.
So the nose guard versus the center, that could be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, now, at 6'5", 340, not very fleet of foot, but if you run into him, you're probably not going to move.
Pick up a couple. We won't be running between guard and center, I imagine, a whole heck of a lot.
You definitely have to run around him.
Exactly. So that's going to be interesting to watch. What else?
Okay. This is a kind of a special week. We got pretty much the same keys to victory for both teams.
Oh, wait a minute. We got to get ready for the keys to the game.
Oh, okay, go.
The little sound effects going on right there. Look, keys to the game. Now you go.
Okay, that's great. Well, first of all, both teams want to win the turnover battle. Both teams have struggled in that department throughout the season. So both teams are looking to win the turnover battle. Both teams are hoping to be more physical than their opponent. Both teams run the same offense, the flex bone, the veer, the option, whatever you want to call it. So both teams are going to try to be more physical than the people across the line of scrimmage. Both teams want to limit the big plays. That's probably more so from campus's defensive point of view than Hutchinson, because campus has given up quite a few big gainers when they're on defense this year. And then both teams run the option. That means defensively, both teams have to be very disciplined. Everybody's got to do their assignment. The assigned person has to tackle the fullback. The assigned person has to go with the quarterback. An assigned person has to go with the pitch man. So both teams are going to have to be defensively disciplined to stop their opponent.
And campus with a new head coach this year.
Yes, and he's a good one. Now, you might look at the record and say, well, they're 0-7 this year. But, again, there's a lot more to high school football.
Well, he's plugging in a new offense, too.
Totally new system. And Coach Vernon is pretty well acquainted with Coach Cruz over at campus. And Coach Vernon said this week at lunch that, hey, he's going to get there. He's just got to be patient and stay with it. It takes time to install an entire new offensive program. But at Pratt, Coach Cruz was 42-21. He won a state championship in the 4A Division II in 2016. He was in the 3A state championship right here at Gowan Stadium in 2018 last year and lost a heartbreaker to Sabetha, 43-42 in overtime on a controversial call at the end of the game.
Yeah, he had a good team that year at Pratt. Those 2 years at Pratt. Now he's made the jump to 5A ball with campus, and we'll see. Like you said, just a little patience and see how his team's going to be. So, what's Hutch have to do right tonight to win?
Well, Hutchinson's got to they got to win the turnover battle. They got to be more physical in campus, and they have to be defensively disciplined against that campus's version of the same offense that Hutchinson runs, the option.
All right, so that's Coach Knack's keys to the game, and we're looking forward to seeing how that comes out tonight. So I think everybody's getting ready. Again, the pregame started way before us here at the stadium, so we'll get set and check up with Joe. He'll be on the sidelines, and also we'll be catch up with Sarah in the booth as well. And you can watch that on SaltHawk Sports at YouTube.com. SaltHawk Sports at YouTube.com is the address to go to. It'll be on NFHS later tonight as well if you like to go and watch it afterwards. But you can watch it on the YouTube channel as well. So
glad you're back with us here in the center of the Garden Spot. You were a traveling man at the Big 12
Media Days. Yes, you betcha. So, well, Dan, let's get set. This is going to wrap things up for this week. Join us next week as Hutchinson will be on the road in the playoffs, and we'll explain all the scenarios to you as the game progresses tonight. We'll be back with more in the kickoff coming your way right after this.
Thanks for listening to the Hutchinson SaltHawk Football Pregame Show. Join us 30 minutes prior to each and every SaltHawk game, each week throughout the entire football season. Kickoff is just minutes away, so stay tuned, and thanks again for listening.
Hey, honey, is this your course schedule for the fall?
Yep.
Let me see here. English, good. Chemistry, trigonometry, excellent. World history, I love world history. Baseball? Wait, baseball? Baseball isn't a course, honey.
Well, sure it is, Mom. High school sports are about so much more than winning and losing. They teach lessons that can't be taught in a classroom, like accountability and self-discipline, the value of teamwork. I may not be earning a grade, but I'm learning how to compete later in life. Isn't that what getting a good education is all about?
Yes, of course it is. I was just testing you.
What can teenagers here in Kansas learn from participating in high school sports? Plenty, as it turns out. That's why they're called education-based athletics.
High school sports. There's so much more than just a game.
This message presented by the Kansas State High School Activities Association and the Kansas Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
It's time for Hutchinson SaltHawk Sports on BW Radio. This broadcast is brought to you by First National Bank, Next Tech Wireless, H&R Block, and the Medicine Shop. SaltHawk Sports also brought to you by these SaltHawk Boosters, Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services, Jackson Meat, Chick-fil-A, Wind Insurance Group, and I Need a Cleaners. Sideline reports are brought to you by Brown's Shoe Fit and Papa John's Pizza. Now your host, Glenn Grunwald.
Well, hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gowan Stadium. It is senior night here. I'm Glenn Grunwald, your play-by-play host, joined by Dan Nacarado in the booth. Good evening, Dan. What good evening is it?
I'm surprised you asked.
I know it.
It just happens to be a great night for football.
It is a great night for football. It's a great night also to be here at Gowan's because it is senior night. So glad to have everybody along. Game time temperatures right at 48 degrees. Feels like 46. We'll go sideline and talk to Joe Blake, who's sponsored by Brown Shoe Fit Company, as well as, of course, Papa John's Pizza. How you doing today, Joe?
Well, you know, it's a great night for football, so I'm optimistic today. We got about 48 degrees down here. The wind will not be much of a factor tonight as the flags seem to be motionless at the top of the goalpost.
Yeah, there's not going to be a factor at all, but you should be pretty warm down there. Keep some gloves on, and we'll go down there periodically throughout the ball game. So, again, 48 degrees, you should be able to handle that.
Oh, yeah.
Should not be a problem. What do you think about the matchup between campus and your SaltHawks?
I think that the SaltHawks should come out on top tonight.
I think there's a good opportunity for that to happen. Again, Joe on the sidelines, brought to you by Brown Shoe Fit, as well as Papa John's Pizza. Papa John's Pizza, 501 East 17th. Give them a call, 665-7272. Knack, last game of the regular season, last game that will be here in Gowans this year. So if you're at home and you just forgot about the game, come on out and enjoy it.
Absolutely, and it is the last opportunity for the seniors to play for Hutchinson football, Hutchinson Salthawk football anyway, here at Gowan Stadium, because Hutchinson will definitely be on the road next week. I don't know whether you call it a playoff game or just week 9, but it's that week where you don't know who your opponent's going to be.
It's into the playoffs. You don't know who that is, and let's talk about that a little bit. Several different scenarios. Hutchinson set at 2-5, right behind Wichita South at 3-4, by all means and by way of the point totals, and that's what they go a lot on. Is we could either go to Topeka High again, like we did last year. We could go to Manhattan, Free State out of Lawrence, Junction City, or Lawrence High. That's a variables on depending on what happens tonight.
That's right. It comes down to tonight to find out which one of those 5 teams will be the Salthawks' opponent next week. And honestly, all 5 of them are good. All 5 of them are solid teams. So it'll be a test for the Salthawks no matter which one of those 5 ends up getting the draw. Hutchinson almost certainly will be the 11 seed in the West. And again, the way it works, you seed all the 6A teams in the West, 1 through 16, and they have their own playoff to see who gets to go to the state championship game. And you seed all the teams in the East, 1 through 16, and they do the same thing. So number 11 would play number 6. Mm-hmm. But we don't know who number 6 is going to be yet.
Exactly. There's a variable that could take place. And that'll be decided tonight by all the games and be passed along tomorrow. I encourage everybody to get a hold of HutchPost.com. We'll have all the matchups for you tomorrow morning as early as possible. One thing that's going to take place at halftime, which I think is really, really cool, is going to be a 10 for 10. And what is 10 for 10, you ask? You have 10 minutes to pledge $10 to the GoFundMe funding source for Gabe I. And Gabe I is out of the hospital now. This is a young freshman from Hutchinson. It was injured in the freshman game a week ago Monday, and they're putting together tonight at halftime here at Gowan Stadium. Everybody get out their phones, and if you don't know what the link is, I think they probably had it when you came in a program form some way, but you can go to HutchPost.com right now, hit on the sports section, and the click it link is there. If you aren't able to do it here at halftime, go home and do it as soon as you get home, and give a little bit. Get $10 to help Gabe and his family out. That would be a nice source. Also, I wanted to announce that on Spangles on 4th Street on the 29th on Tuesday, that evening, they're having a fundraiser for Gabe as well. All you need to do is go in and say, hey, this is for Gabe, and I think there's a proceeds from your whatever you order will go to Gabe I, and that certainly will help him out a lot. We'll talk about more of that later on as the game progresses here. So Salthawks are taking the field, and now the captains are going out to check and see exactly on the toss, and we'll see what's going to take place here as campus comes to town. A winless campus team. They really kind of had their number the last couple of years when you look back at the history of this matchup between these two clubs. They have played each other since 1963, and just in the last couple of years, campus has just kind of came back and had the number on the Salthawks.
Yeah, if you look before the last couple of times, Hutchinson pretty well dominated campus. As a matter of fact, through the history of the games that these two teams have played each other, it's been 38 times. Hutchinson has prevailed 26 of those 38 times. But the last couple of years, campus has given Hutchinson a pretty hard time, and if you look back to 2017, they actually beat Hutch twice that year because they ended up matching up in the playoffs.
And that was the first time that campus had beat Hutchinson in many a moon.
That's right.
Many a moon. So the coin flip is taking place down on the field. And, Joe, I'm going to go sideline to you and see who won the coin flip as Dan and I were going through that information.
Campus won the toss, and they elected to receive.
All right, so Campus won the toss and elected to receive, and that's where we stand with that. So we're about to set to get underway. And I tell you what, we're going to take a 1-minute timeout and come back for opening kickoff. We're live right here from Gowan Stadium. We'll be back with opening kickoff coming your way in 1 minute on the Salthawk Radio Network.
Hutchinson Community College and Blue Dragon Athletics are proud to support Hutchinson Salthawk football. Whether you're working towards your degree or a busy working individual with limited time to attend class, Hutch CC has what you're looking for. And for those still in high school, Hutchinson Community College's Step Ahead program provides a head start on a quality education, and it may not cost the student anything. Visit hutchcc.edu or call 888-GO-HUTCH for more details. And good luck this season to the Salthawks.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salthawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
All right, welcome back for the opening kickoff as we're about set to get underway. So glad to have you along this evening right here on KWBW Hutchinson, Kansas. Here's the opening kickoff, and it's going to be taken at about the 18 by campus, and they'll slide up to about the 30-yard line, and a whole host of Salthawks come up and make the stop, and it'll be campus's ball, 1st and 10 from the 5. So not too bad of a return by campus, but Dan, they were contained very nicely by the Gunners from the outside coming down on that special teams core for Hutch High.
Excellent coverage by Hutchinson. About 4 different Salthawks in on that tackle. And it's okay when in high school football, if you're getting the other team to start their opening drive inside the 35, that's not too bad.
All right, campus Colts, again, Nathan Bowen, the quarterback. He's also a defensive back, and he'll have him come up, and he'll go off that wishbone, and the pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards on the first carry straight up the middle by the young man back there, and that young man's name is Corbin Williams, running back. So Williams gets the start tonight, and he is a junior. And again, Nathan Bowen, a junior quarterback as well. This team has the opportunity next year to get better because it does take a little bit, like we talked about on the pregame, to learn the flex bone.
Whole bunch of repetitions are required to get the quarterback to be able to read.
Bowen hands it off again. Quick opener, read nicely by the Salthawk defense as he drives them back. And that front line for that nose guard doing a great job for the Salthawks.
By the way, it's good to see David Waymeyer back in action tonight. The 6'2", 230-pound junior had been out with an injury for a couple of weeks, and he is back at the nose tackle position tonight.
3rd down and 7 now for the campus Colts. Colts, again, made the playoffs a couple years ago. There's movement, and drawn across the line is a Salthawk. That could be 5 yards for encroachment unless he's drawn. It will be against the defense.
I think David Waymeyer just wanted to make sure we noticed he was playing again.
Yep. He jumped across, made contact. I think if he would have made contact, he could have got back. But since he made the touch right there, ends up being a penalty against Hutchinson. So 3rd down and 2. This is manageable now for campus. Again, looking to the sidelines is Bowen, Nathan Bowen, 6-footer, 160, quarterback and a defensive back. Goes under center. There's a take and a turn. The pitch on the outside. A rocket pitch to the outside. Doesn't go. Great defense by Hutchinson on the far side.
That was Dylan Peterson from his outside linebacker position coming across the line of scrimmage to make the tackle.
Yeah, came over there and tipped him off. The pitch was good to the outside, but Dylan was there just to take out that running back speed just as quick as he could. So 4th down situation, and Hutchinson will send new faces in back to receive, and going back will be Zach Hogan.
Zach Hogan might see a few more snaps at the slot back position tonight. Coach Vernon's very high on him.
High snap, but they run it down, get the kick away. Not a good kick. Shanked it off on the right side, and it's going to go out of bounds aimlessly. They'll angle it. That's going to be a very short kick. Hardly got anything out of it. The young man kicking the football, Bryce Cannell, probably not very pleased with himself right now. That's going to be clear up at the 39-yard line, Nick.
It's a -3 yard.
Oh, my goodness.
Sometimes that happens.
Now, there was a former Salthawk by the name of Paul Allen that kicked a negative punt way back in the 80s.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Just didn't kick it clean and went off the side of his foot, and it went out of bounds.
So 1st and 10 Salthawks. Dallas Chambers will bring him up to the line of scrimmage. Again, his center is going to be Jonathan Fan. turn to give it an outside, and that's going to be McEwen around the outer perimeter and picks up positive yardage. He pulls it off on the right side and then heads back to his left a little bit. Pickup of about 7, so 2nd and 3. Alec with a nice run.
Good surge by the offensive line. Again, the offensive line has been solid all season. Kudos to Coach Sean Harper, one of the best offensive line coaches in the state.
McEwen on that run always goes off tackle, and then he veers back to the left. Here's Dallas Chambers under center. Turn to give to the first man through, that's Barlow, and it carries forward close to the first down. Let's see if he stretched and got it or not.
Tackle was made by
actually Bryson. 2 on the run.
Bryson Gilchrist made the tackle. He's one of the captains for the campus Colts.
So Ken 2 about a yard short, less than a yard actually. So we'll call it 3rd down and 1. So Duval in there now at fullback slot, where he has been outstanding. Let's see if he gets the tote or not, and he does. And he gets the first down and lots more. That first line surge takes it all the way to the 19 for the Salthawks. And down to Joe Blake on the sideline, sponsored by Brown Shoe Fit, as well as Papa John's Pizza. You get the ball in there, and he just is instant offense, picking up that 5 yards, 6 yards.
Oh, yeah, and he is definitely the best option we have in a 3rd and short situation or even a 4th and short situation.
He really is. You might maybe see Dallas Chambers keep it once in a while, but a good job by Isaiah Duval for the first down. So they'll mark it officially right at the 19.5. We'll call it the 20. Give again, and this time it's going to be Rogers on the carry, who's been injured, but he carries it all the way down to the 25.
Good to see Rogers back in action. We thought he might return last week at Salina South, just wasn't quite physically ready yet. But Braden Rogers, one of the captains for the Hutchinson Salthawk football team, it's great to see him back in action.
Yeah, 2nd down and 5. Cantu back in there, fullback now. And he'll get set. McEwen on that left side. Rogers on the right in the slots. Wide out on the left wing. Man in motion. Turn to get to Cantu. Quick opener up the middle and stacked up at about the 7-yard line, but it's close for the first down. And they will move the chains. 1st and goal now for Hutchinson. They'll mark it at the 7.
Good hard running by Cantu, but my goodness, how about that offensive line surge? Levi Allen, Caden Pennington, Jonathan Fan, Chase Kepler, Tajon James, and Kyler Burnett.
No score as of yet. 7-12 to go in this first quarter play, but Hutchinson knocking on the door. Again, got the possession after the short punt. Trying to make something out of it to get it this time to the ball. He's in there for the touchdown. Just bowls his way in from 7 yards out for touchdown number 1 of the night for Hutch High.
What a huge offensive line surge to open a gaping hole from the 7-yard line.
7 for 7 right there with 7 minutes on the clock. How about that, Knack?
Lots of 7s. We should be playing a slot machine.
Number 7, Duvall, 7 minutes remaining to go in this first quarter play on the 7 yards out on 1st and goal. So they'll get the campus Colt down before they try the extra point. We'll get a break in. We'll come back for the extra point by the Salthawks. That's leading to 6-0 right now. We'll be back with more coming your way on KWBW right after the Salthawk Radio Network timeout.
Big texters, heavy data users, helicopter moms, Nextech Wireless has you covered. And right now, we have the perfect deal going on. Here it is. For a limited time, 4 lines of unlimited data cost $120. Plus, you get 2 free iPhone 11s or Galaxy S10es when you activate any 2 devices. So get on down to Nextech Wireless and check it out. Get your free smartphones and unlimited data today at Nextech Wireless. We'll keep you connected. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Well, 7 minutes remaining to go in quarter number 1. 6-0 on the board for Hutchinson off the 7-yard touchdown by Duvall. The Colt injury is still injured on the play. And we'll just have to check and see.
Is it number 19,
I
Glenn?
can't tell. I don't know if Joe can tell or not. Joe, can you get a number for us?
Yeah, that's Braden Tunnel, number 19.
Tunnel number 19 is the injured player, and they'll get him up now and get him off. By the way, Topeka High on top of Topeka West, 7-0 in early action. That's in the first quarter of play. Gardner Edgerton also a 7-0 lead over Shawnee Mission West. And some scores will start to come in tonight.
Are you getting those scores off your watch?
I am.
Glenn?
I'm getting my scores off my birthday presents.
How about, does it tell time also?
It does tell time. It tells temperature. It tells lots of things. It's going to tell whether or not we make this extra point in a second here.
I thought it was Dick Tracy the way you were looking at that wristwatch.
Carter Boo's going to kick the extra point. Here comes the kick. It is up and on its way, and it is perfect. So your score was 7 minutes to go in the first quarter of play, 7-0. Hutchinson with the lead. Again, we will be back with more. The Salt Hawk kickoff coming your way right here from Gowan Stadium. 7-0 with 7 to go in this first quarter. Hutchinson with the lead. You're listening to Salt Hawk football on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Well, we just were commenting, 7 minutes to go in the first quarter play at 7-0 Hutchinson. Number 7, the ball scored from 7 yards out. Just sounds like it's meant to be.
Lots of sevens.
Lots of sevens. And Hutchinson will toe up the football, see if they do the stampede or not, and get set again.
Yeah, they just did.
Yeah, they did. Now they pull back, and we're set to kick it away. Here comes the kick, and Boo puts it all the way down. It's going to go out of bounds, but just about had the right angle to catch that corner down there. It'll be back to the 35 for a 1st and 10 for Campus Colts.
Campus Colts have 4 or 5 players on the field all the time, both offense, defense, and special teams. That's a little bit unusual for a 6A team to do that, but again, Coach Cruz getting his programs established as a first-year coach at campus. Lots of success at Pratt through the years. A state championship in 2016 and nearly a state championship last year right here at Gowan Stadium in the 3A championship game.
Campus breaks their huddle, and they come over. They're on the left hash mark, and they'll set up 1st and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Again, their quarterback out there is Nathan Bowen, and ball's given and carried forward for a pickup of a couple yards. The ball carry again, Corbin Williams.
Nice tackle by Maddox Henneha. He came up from his defensive back position to make the stop. 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Maddox Henneha, we'll sometimes call him Mad Dog, and he.
Sometimes I call him Easton by mistake.
Exactly.
His older brother. I apologize when I do that.
2nd down and 6 now. 4 yards picked up by Williams. And they got the left and right slots back there as well. This sort of man in motion. Give to Williams again. Up, he keeps it. Pitches on the outside. Loose ball on the turf, and Hutchinson trying to get to it. The Salt Hawks have the football on the turnover. That ball pinballed away from Williams, and he just couldn't get to it. Matter of fact, I think he even accidentally kicked it one time. Then the Salt Hawks couldn't get to it and finally gathered in, and they'll have 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line.
It was an errant pitch. He just really didn't have much of a chance to control it. And then as it bounced in front of him, you're right, Glenn, he kicked it as he was running forward. Jack Hover jumped on that bouncing ball. It's a hard thing to recover a football sometimes. It takes all kinds of crazy bounces.
And again, Hutchinson, let's see if they can take advantage of the turnover they did last week with the turnover that happened from South. There's the give and a carry up to about the 41-yard line. 5 yards in a cloud of dust is how I like to, or a cloud of turf is how I should say, if you want to refer to it that way, as how the Salt Hawk offense runs, and that's a pickup of 4 hard yards, 2nd down and 6. You're always getting 4, 5, 6 yards of carry, and any football coach would love to have that. Possibly.
Yeah. Keep your offense on the field. Let your defense get some rest.
All right, Dallas Chambers, the quarterback. On under center to turn, and he'll keep it himself around the outside to the 35. Cuts outside to the 30, 25, and finally brought down, and they'll mark it right at the 25. So good hustle by Chambers around that outside after he did the ball fake and took off, beat that edge, and ran it around to the left side. 1st and 10 now for Hutchinson.
17-yard gain on the option. Dallas Chambers read it to perfection. It was well blocked.
Truly was, as he just took it around that outside edge and was able to pick up the first down. 1st and 10, Hutchinson. Chambers again under center. This time the give, and they come around and carry up to about the 20-yard line. Picks up about 5. Good hard football out there. And on that carry was Alex McEwen.
Hutchinson is double teaming or sometimes triple teaming that 340-pound, 6'5" nose guard, Xavier Spone.
Talked about him on the pregame, good size, but so is Jonathan Fan, who's right across from him at the center position. So we'll watch that battle all night long. Hutchinson should be able to get to the outside rather than go on the inside. And turn Cantu. He'll bounce it inside and get some positive yardage. Drags 2 or 3 Colts with him, close down to about the 15-yard line. They'll move the chains.
That offensive line still got lots of movement against the Campus Colts defensive line. Every offensive lineman was 5 yards downfield driving their block.
So 1st and 10 from the Campus Colt 15-yard line. Hutchinson split. It's a wide out. If that's Newquist on the right side. Again, Duvall in there now. Let's see if he gets the football or not. They'll send a man in motion. They turn the pitch on the outside. The rocket pitch around the outside is by McEwen's nice inside down to about the 8.
Well blocked again.
Well blocked. So McEwen around that outside, and he had a couple pulling guard situations out there. Levi Allen, 5'11", 185 pounds, right out there leading the charge. So 2nd down and 4 from what, Dan, about the 9-yard line?
It is on the 9. On the right hash.
So Hutchinson knocking on the door. Hutch leads it 7-0 with 3:34 to go in this first quarter of play. Dallas Chambers, the senior quarterback, playing his last home game on this turf. As are other seniors, there's movement. Loose ball on the turf, but they've blown dead because there was movement on that left side.
Don't think the play will count.
It will not. And there was exchange from center. It's going to be against the defense. Be an automatic first down.
I think Jonathan Fan probably snapped the ball a little bit early when he saw movement. Now, in high school football, if they come across and encroach on the neutral zone, it's automatically a 5-yard penalty anyway. But a lot of times it's just kind of a natural reaction.
I've always said that's a smart thing for a center to do, even if his quarterback's not ready for it. And you just hope that the official's on top of it. There he was. So to the 5-yard line now, 1st and goal for Hutchinson. Duvall still in there at fullback. Man in motion. The turn to get to the ball up the middle, and he takes it down to about the 2.
Last couple of formations, Salthawks have gone strong right with the tight end and a wideout on the right side of the ball. They've overloaded the right side of the formation.
Braden Rogers, also another senior that has been out there. Now, he has been injured, and I think it's a situation where he knows it's his last game to play on this field, and he's going to give it everything he can give it to be in there, and he sets up in that R slot. Turn to get to Cantu, and he dives over, and he's short of the goal line, short by about a yard. I think he thought he was going to be able to get to the end zone, and somebody got a hold of his legs and dropped him right down. So right at the goal line, it'll be a 3rd down situation, 3rd and 1.
Normally in this situation, Hutchinson would go with a wedge play where everybody just goes towards the center and you give the ball to the fullback, but with that 340-pound nose guard, I don't know if they'll use that play.
Hutchinson trying to go up by 2 touchdowns here. Movement, they drive by the ball into the end zone, and the touchdown is called. I think that was a blown play because everybody all of a sudden stopped and the ball kept going. And it will be a touchdown for Hutchinson, 13-0 now. Hutch with the lead.
That was Duvall again, Glenn?
Yes, it was. Duvall carrying the football. So this happens at the 1:49 mark of the first quarter of play. Again, Duvall with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Comes at the 1:49 mark from 1 yard out. Here comes the extra point try by Carter Boo, and it is up, and it is good. So 14-0. Hutchinson with the lead. We'll be back with the Hutch kickoff coming your way in just a little bit. Again, 14-0. Salthawks on top. We'll be back with more on the Salthawk Radio Network right after this.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salt Hawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, The Shirt Shack, where the shirt hits the fans. Randy Smith of Appalachian Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Meat. Hutchinson High School and Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
Put the ball with 2 touchdowns. That's with a 14-0 lead. Don't forget to watch Salt Hawk football on Salt Hawk Sports at YouTube.com. Salt Hawk Sports at YouTube.com. You can also go to HutchPost.com and click on the links, and you'll find it there. A couple other first quarter scores: McPherson 14, Circle nothing. That taking place. Bull Lake 13 to Russell's nothing. Also Topeka High now 14-0 on Topeka High. And of course we're keeping our eye on some of those games, as depends on where Hutchinson will go. Not sure we'll know tonight or not. Probably will come out tomorrow, but Dan might be able to figure it out. There's a kickoff taken at about the 19, and room on the outside. Now back to the center of the field goes the Campus Colt. Has his feet taken out from underneath him finally before he got to the 42-yard line. He actually jumped over one defender. Sometimes they'll flag him on that, but that return was made by Brandon Tunnell.
Brandon Tunnell was the player who was down in the end zone, so obviously he's okay, and he is one of those players, Braden Tunnell, he is one of those players that's on the field almost all the time for campus. That tackle was made by Kinzer Newquist. He's a wide receiver, but getting downfield on the kick coverage team there to make a good tackle.
Yeah, down to Joe on the sideline, Joe Blake on the sideline. Last touchdown looked like part of the line didn't go, and some of it did go, but the ball took it in.
Yeah, Campus did a great job of getting penetration on that play, and Isaiah Delval was still able to bounce it out and go around the penetration and score the touchdown.
They want to throw it here. They air it out, and the catch is made at the Hutchinson 35-yard line. The ball was behind the receiver, and he waited on it. Defensive back went by him, and the catch was made out there. I think that might have been Tunnell on the catch. It was Tunnell on the catch, so long pass moves the chains all the way down to the Hutch 31-yard line.
Back shoulder throw. It was really, the coverage was right there, but he didn't see that the ball was thrown short.
Well, he just looked back and gave it a heave, and down he went. Now they look to the sideline, and again, Nathan Bowen. Braden Tunnell, his main receiver out there, did a good job of coming back to the football. Now he's in motion to go around the right side, and carrying the football for is Williams for Hayesville. So Campus Williams picks up a couple yards, 2nd down to 8, and see if the Hutch defense can tighten up here and keep them out of the end zone. 14-0, Hutchinson with the lead. Now a lot of it depends on those points, Dan, on the 13-point differentiality, and we'll look at the list to see how close we are here in just a little bit to South, and right now we're just 3 points away from South, should South error. Here's a drive up the middle and pick up another 3 yards, so it makes it about a 3rd down to 3. And good chance the South is going to lose tonight because they play Bishop Carroll.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good chance they'll lose by at least 13.
So we'll keep an eye on that score as it comes across as well, that Wichita South. And like you said, I don't think it's going to make much difference. The guys up ahead are pretty good. It's not going to really matter other than knowing where you're going. There's a drive and picking up the first down for Campus all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Corbin Williams.
Yeah, Williams just keeps rolling along.
Good run.
So Williams carries it down, and that's going to be the end of the quarter. So we'll get 1 quarter's in the book. Hutchinson leads at 14-0, but Campus on the drive, trying to get something going. Let's see if the Hutchinson defense can tighten it up a little bit. It's 14-0, Hutchinson on top as we go to the second quarter of action. We'll be back on the Salt Hawk Radio Network right after this.
In need of a business loan? With The First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, The First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Salt Hogs from Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
All right, welcome back to Live Action Campus with the football on a 1st and 10 situation deep in Hutchinson territory. Bears it up the middle to about the 10-yard line. No gain on the play.
Defense stacked up that run attempt pretty well. In that first quarter, Hutchinson gained 111 yards on 14 plays, all of them running plays. The Campus Colts gained 33 yards on 8 plays.
Lawrence with a 7-0 lead over Free State right now after 1 quarter of play. So Lawrence High, which is ranked higher than Lawrence Free State with the lead 7-0. Campus football. Again, that's Nathan Bowen, who's under center, sends a man in motion to give straight up the middle. It's Williams. He gets stacked up, and defense pushed him way back.
Defensively sound against the option. So the Campus Colts score, they racked up 33 yards on the ground and another 33 yards on that pass completion. So the Colts exactly 33 yards running and 33 yards passing in the first quarter.
Yeah, big 3rd down facing them right here. They have the ball on the 10-yard line of Hutchinson, actually about the 8-yard line of Hutch. So 3rd down, and they can get a 1st down. They have it at the 7-yard line. Well, I should say 3rd and 7, and we'll just see. They could get a 1st down without getting it into the end zone. Here's the throw across, and incomplete pass. Had him at the goal line, and Hutchinson had a big rush on, and the throw by Nathan Bowen was a little low. And it brings up a 4th down. So
Nathan Bowen also made 3 tackles because, as you said, Glenn, he plays both offense and defense. So he plays quarterback, and then he stays on the field to play defensive back. He's a pretty important piece of that Campus Colts
Looks
program.
like they're going to try for 3. They're going to go for the field goal. As your holder is going to be Tate Rico.
Tate Rico is also the punter, so that works out pretty well.
And Peyton Kondo is the kicker. Kick is up, and it is good. So scoring for Campus with 10:29 to go in the second quarter of play. They're on the board. It's 14-3. Hutch lead cut down just a little bit. 10:29 to go in the second quarter of play. We'll be back for the Campus kickoff coming your way right now on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Forward. Always moving. Never stagnant. Together. Nothing great is ever accomplished without it. At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century. Together with individuals, organizations, and communities, we look ahead to protect the people, places, and things they love. We're Fee Insurance Group. Forward. Together.
Derby thinks 13 Mays 0 right now in that ball game over there.
Well, that's a battle of two undefeated teams.
Right there.
2 good teams, but
here 14-3 now. Hutchinson still leads it, but Campus is on the board.
Mays has a program to be proud of, but until somebody proves different, Derby is the team to beat. Certainly in 6A.
Nickerson on top of Pratt, 14-0 in playoff and final season action, I should say. Here's the ball taken by the Salt Hawks across the 20 to the 25, up to the 30, still on his feet, and a flag. It could be a face mask all the way up to about the 33.
Bryce Connell had Alec McEwen wrapped up, but he may have grabbed the face mask in the process. Joe, could you tell?
Yeah, I think it's a holding.
Oh, it's a holding against Hutchinson. Okay. Well, that'll back up the Salt Hawks just a little bit to start this drive. Alec McEwen, the kick bounced off of his chest as he tried to field it, And then once he scooped it up, he really ran hard, but there was a holding flag against Hutchinson, so they'll start the drive on their own 22-yard
I thought maybe the way he was wrapped around him, it could have been a face mask, but I was wrong. So 1st and 10 for Hutch, and they'll set up right there. Dallas Chambers, the quarterback. Holds up under center. Keeps it himself around that left side and gets to about the 25. Picks up maybe 3 yards.
That's one that maybe Dallas should have gone ahead and made the pitch to Braden Rogers. But, again, you got positive yards, and this Salt Hawk offense has been moving the ball well.
Cantu back out there as well, and the ball will come out of the contest. So Cantu will be in that fullback spot. So Jonathan Fan leads them up to the line of scrimmage. Ball right at the 25. 2nd down and 7, we'll call it.
It's blown
dead. I thought that Dallas was going back to try to throw the football.
He definitely was. That was a pass play called. Hutchinson doesn't throw the ball very often. As a matter of fact, through 7 games plus 1 quarter, the Salthawks have 9 completions this
Not very
season.
many. Solana South 6, Newton nothing. 2nd quarter score. Again, we'll try to keep you up to date on those as best we can.
That's a game that could go either way. You would think Newton would be considered the favorite.
So 2nd down now for Hutchinson. 2nd and 12 is that penalty once against them. 9:19 to go in this 2nd quarter of play. The give, and Duvall has nowhere to go there. Usually he gets 3, 4, 5 yards on the carry, but that time maybe a pickup of just a couple, maybe 3. We'll make it 3rd down and 9 now to call coming up for Hutchinson. 14-3 if you just tuned in as Hutchinson got on the board at the 7-minute mark of the 1st quarter play, and then got another touchdown from 1 yard out by Duvall. Isaiah Duvall.
Strong right formation.
Wideouts on that right side. Man in motion is McEwen. Comes across and gives it off, and just Rogers is tripped up at the 20. Looked like it was going to develop into something, Dan, out there with blockers, but Rogers a little frustrated as he just was taken down right at the 20-yard line.
Hutchinson tried to get a little bit tricky there. They set up the formation with an extra man on the right side, and then they ran the counter play coming back to the left, hoping to catch Campus outnumbered. But Barrett Rhodes got into the backfield and tripped up Rogers before he could really get started.
4th down and 11 for Hutchinson, so they're going to punt the football away. 2 up backs at the 40 for Campus. Looks like they could get pretty good field position. One of them, of course, is Tunnel, who's a good return man. It's going to be taken, and they'll let it bounce. Picked up at the 45. Some room to run, and tripped up and down. The ball carrier goes to inside of Salt Hawk territory there. Might even fell on the ball right there. It was Braylon J. Young little sophomores started returning back and just had his feet taken out from underneath him. They'll mark it right at the 47.
Levi Allen, the left tackle, got down the field quickly to make that tackle.
One game a lot of fans will have an eye on is Hoisington and Norton in 3A, Dan. Nothing at the end of the 2nd period of play. That's a battle of 2 big powers in 3A down in central Kansas. Norton Blue Jays. All right, here's, again, Campus. They'll run it. The running back will keep it himself and gets gets back to the original line of scrimmage just about, actually. Thought maybe Braylon J had the football, but it looked to me like it was Nathan Bowen that carried it.
Campus Colts wears the all-white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants with black numbers. And Hutchinson, going for the contrast, they're wearing all black uniforms.
Wearing the blacks tonight with the blue helmets. Of course, the Power H on the helmets. So 2nd down and 9. Bowen, the quarterback, to give to the right side, and not much there. Stacking up a little bit was Derek Sheeler. Sheeler is senior, 5'9", 150 pounds.
Good tackle by Jack Hover. Jack Hover
he played well last week. He played really well last week.
He's been solid. One of the best linebackers around. And he works so hard in the weight room. He's a good leader.
3rd down and about 7 to go here. Big defensive opportunity here for Hutchinson. 3rd down and 6, they say.
Power left formation.
Man in motion. Bowen wants to throw the football, gets it out on the outside, and over the outstretched hands of his running back, William, who came out of the backfield. Williams just couldn't get to it to bring up 4th down. So good defense down to Joe Blake on the sideline. Good defense out there.
Yes, it was, and we'll see what Campus does on this 4th down with 4th and 6 approaches.
See if they go for it or not, or if they try to punt it and put it in the coffin corner or not. And I think they're going to elect to maybe punt the football away. So we'll check it.
I will be shocked if Campus decides to punt the ball.
I would be too. So
on the Hutchinson 44-yard line, they might try to pull Hutchinson off sides first to see what happens.
Yeah, I'd be shocked too. And situation here where if you play the percentages, probably just as well go for it right here in high school football. The throw on the outside, the receiver out there, and it's going to be picked off. Hutchinson comes up with the interception. Down the sidelines and the stop right there. And Hutchinson came up with a big pick.
It's a terrific interception, but if he just knocks the ball down, Hutchinson gets quite a few more yards in field position.
So Hutchinson with the pick. As Hutchinson came up with it and looked like it might have been Mad Dog Hinahaw. Was that true, Joe? Who got that pick?
Yes, it was. It was Mad Dog Hinahaw on the play.
So Maddox Hinahaw comes up with the pick. He's excited. He comes off the field.
Made a great play. He had fantastic coverage. Just that Hutchinson probably would have had about 20 yards better field position had he just knocked the ball down that time.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 25 for Hutchinson, their own 25. Some room. Chambers on a pitch on the outside, trying to turn the corner on the outside. Hutchinson turns that corner out there. Great job by Rogers around the edge, and moves the chains, gets the 1st down.
Very well sealed on that left side as Rogers ran around the end.
Rogers around that left wing. And he's Vernon's talking to Rogers. Now he sends Cantu into the lineup, and also Dallas Chambers brings into play. They'll set it up right there. The ball checks out.
Hutchinson had one too many men in the huddle, but in high school football, a lot of times you can get away with that.
Nuka switches around to the right side. There's Chambers down under center. He keeps it himself. He's in trouble in the backfield. He gets tripped up at the 35-yard line. Loss of a couple on the play.
That's the second time Hutchinson has overloaded the right side of the formation and then tried to run it back to the left. It hasn't worked out very well either time. The Campus Colts doing a nice job of everyone taking care of their responsibility.
Yeah, Braden Rogers returns into the lineup. They'll split a wide out to the right side, like you said, with the overload. Chambers looks that way. Now he gets under center. Man in motion to give straight away, right up the middle. First man through, and I believe that was Hinahaw carrying the football. I checked that. It was Cantu carrying the football. No, Duvall. I'll get it straight. Duvall back in there on that series of downs. And picked up a couple yards back to make it 3rd down and 9.
A lot of weapons in the backfield for Hutchinson. A lot of different running backs getting carries and gaining yards this season.
At halftime, we'll have the Medicine Shop in-game capsule, and then we'll have the USD 308 activity report with Sarah Peterson, sponsored by Culligan. And then we'll have an interview with Rusty Hills. Is going to be Dan's guest. There's a loose football on the turf. Hutchinson, I believe, is going to get to it, or did Campus, and Campus comes up with the football. That was never secure on the right side and ends up over. And now don't look now. Campus has a great opportunity here with 4:47 to go in the short field in front of him to try to get a little bit closer. So the ball just slipped away out of hands. Hutchinson never had the handle on it over that far side. I thought they might have a chance to get back to the ball. Ends up being a Salt Hawk turnover.
We're used to these Hutchinson offenses making it look so easy, but it is not an easy thing to be running full speed, pitch the ball to another man who's running full speed who has to catch it.
1st and 10 now for Campus. The pitch. They want to throw the ball. Trick play on the outside. Man down there. The catch is made at the 5. Coming up with the catch out there was Braden Tunnel. Throwing the football was Jacob Dorton.
That's the halfback pass, and it worked to perfection. They caught Hutchinson defensive backs coming up to stop the run, and the receiver got way behind all of the Salt Hawk defenders.
Go down to Joe Blake on the sideline, sponsored by Brown Shoe Fit and Papa John's Pizza. That one was covered well, but he made a nice catch. All right, now we'll get set.
29-yard gain.
Big pickup. Trying to get back in this game. To give off to Williams, nothing there. Pick up maybe a couple. I'd say nothing, but forward progress. 2nd and goal for the Campus Colts.
In our pregame show, Glenn, we talked about that was one of the keys to victory for both teams to eliminate their opponent's big plays. That was a big play. Another key to victory was to win the turnover battle. Both teams have been committing turnovers.
2nd and 3 from the 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Williams at fullback. Now for Nathan Bowen. Bowen, the quarterback. Turn to give to another man through. In for the close for the touchdown, but not there. No signal as of yet. It's down to the 1. Short.
Okay.
The ball carrier right there was Braden Jay.
Joe, you know how I feel about this defensively. It's time to storm the castle. If you jump off sides, it's a 2-inch penalty.
Yeah, one of those cases, nothing to lose by trying to jump off sides and time this snap out.
Yep, exactly. Just clog up that middle.
You hope you can time it right to create a turnover, and if you jump off sides, there's not much downside.
And Campus is lined up close to each other with the running backs close to the quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to try to take it across, and it is in for the touchdown. So the quarterback sneaks it across. And in for the touchdown. Braden Tunnel. Was it Bowen on the touchdown? Who scored that touchdown?
It was Bowen on the quarterback
sneak. On the quarterback sneak. Okay, on the keep.
That's what Campus has done all year in short yard situations. They have just put a lot of big guys near the center and run the quarterback sneak.
So Bowen from 1 yard out got the TD. Extra point is good, and with 3:02 to go in the second quarter of play, it is the Salt Hawks 14. And again, coming back are the Colts of Campus with 10. We'll be back with more right after this on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Swimming pool season is coming to an end, and that makes us sad at Pools Plus. To keep the party going, we have extended the sale on all outdoor furniture. Take advantage of the huge savings on all the fun, bright-colored chairs, tables, and benches. Strong enough to withstand the Kansas weather and pretty enough to add some extra pop in your outdoor decor. Come see what Pools Plus has to offer. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
Call us at Pools Plus.
3:02 remaining to go in this first half of play. We're in the second quarter, and 2 back-to-back scores by the Campus Colts. One was a 25-yard field goal, the other a 1-yard touchdown run by the quarterback on a quarterback sneak to make it 14-10 after Hutchinson had 2 first-quarter touchdowns. So Campus will kick the football off now, and Hutchinson needs plenty of time with 3:02 to go to get down and try to make something happen. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to be taken by the Salt Hawks at about the 14-yard line up the field by Duvall. Duvall all across the 40 all the way to the 45-yard line is where they'll mark it. Nice patient return by Hutchinson.
It was well blocked, and Duvall did a nice job of finding his openings. He looked like he was taking evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, very calmly returning it, not on a sprint type of thing, although we know he has excellent speed, but he was waiting for his blockers in front of him. They'll mark it at the 44, so a fairly short field, Dan, for Hutchinson. Again, maybe not a lot of time to drive like they like to, but they maybe need a big play here.
Have all 3 timeouts still.
Man in motion, pitch to McEwen on the outside, trying to turn that outside edge, and he'll be touched and then spins away across the 45 up to about the 47-yard line, giving 5 on the carry. Brings up 4 on the carry, brings up his second down to 6. So I'll mark it right at the 48. So 2nd and 6 with 2:32 to go for Hutchinson.
That turnover battle so key. So far this season, coming into this game, Hutchinson had fumbled the ball 26 times and lost 16 of them. So that's all year long, Hutchinson has moved the football well. That offensive line has been effective in every single game, and they've moved the football, but there's just been too many turnovers.
McEwen gets his shoestring tied. Now they're set to go. 2nd down to 6. Hutch with the football. Dallas Chambers to take and to turn. Wants to hold the football. Back outside as a receiver out there, McEwen, and they say incomplete. So good defense out there by, again, number 19, Braden Tunnel.
Tunnel and Bowen both out there on the coverage, and even had he made the catch, it would have only been a 2 or 3 yard gain.
So third down in a kind of a long situation. 3rd down and 6. Big down right here for Hutch to keep drive alive here. Chambers comes back in. Also coming in for Hutchinson will be Kyler Burnett as well. The tight end comes in.
Strong right formation. Tight end's on the right, wideout is
Ball
on the
right hash mark. Mike Vernon wants to talk things over. He's going to get a timeout taken on the field. That gives us time to talk things over as well and let you hear from some fine folks. 2:15 to go in the quarter. Second quarter of action. Hutch 14, the Colts 10. We'll be back with more after this 30-second timeout.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salt Hawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, The Shirt Shack, where the shirt hits the fans. Randy Smith of Appalachian Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Meat. Hutchinson High School and Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
Welcome back again to Gowan Stadium and Hutch High on top 14-10 over the Campus Colts. Here, the timeout was taken. Here's some quick scores. Free State and Lawrence all tied up at 7 apiece. Dodge City 21, Liberal nothing. Out in Western Kansas, Derby 27, Mays nothing.
Wow, Derby's dominating Mays.
And Andale 7, Cheney 7. Those are some quick scores.
Lawrence and Lawrence Free State, that's a marquee matchup tonight. Both those teams are very good.
And again, Lawrence in the rankings a little bit ahead. They're sitting at number 2 behind Derby. Again, a pitch around the outside. McEwen has a way too short a field over there, and Hutchinson lost yardage off to punt the football away, Dan.
Got to get a good snap, and you hope that you don't give the Campus Colts an opportunity for a big return. Matter of fact, I always felt better if the punter would just put it out of bounds so there would be no opportunity for a return.
Just no doubt for that. 1:51. Timeout's going to be taken by Campus, so now we'll get a chance for another break. 1:48 to go as the clock moved down, but this stops with the timeout. 14-10. Hutch is on top of the Campus Colts. We'll be back with more from Gowan Stadium right here on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Hutchinson Community College and Blue Dragon Athletics are proud to support Hutchinson Salt Hawk football. Whether you're working towards your degree or a busy working individual with limited time to attend class, Hutch CC has what you're looking for. And for those still in high school, Hutchinson Community College's Step Ahead program provides a head start on a quality education, and it may not cost the student anything. Visit hutchcc.edu or call 888-GO-HUTCH for more details. And good luck this season to the Salt Hawks.
You got some information, Dan, at halftime.
Well, it's a fundraiser for Salt Hawk football. The good folks at Walmart and Jackson Meat made a nice contribution, and the football program is raffling off a grill and a $250 meat package from Jackson's Meat. We'll announce the winner at halftime.
Yeah, you might have a little time, maybe, if you hurry, to get your raffle ticket to see if you can win that or not. All right, here comes the punt from Hutchinson. Punt's going to be...
That's a good one.
Kicked out of bounds and all the way down to about the... they'll mark it right around the 30, maybe a little bit farther down the net. Let's see where they mark it off at. He'll step it back toward the sidelines, right at the 30, 31-yard line. That's a good one. Joe, that's a safe punt right there with 1:49 to go. Get your defense out there and let them go to work.
Yeah, hopefully this defense can get a stop before the half, as Campus's passing attack can move the ball this quick, but it is they're more of a running team. So we'll see
if they're going to throw the ball or not. Hutchinson might be in a prevent. Let's check it. And they'll split wide right and left for the Campus Colts.
It is a passing formation.
They'll pitch on the outside, and they'll run it around that right wing, try to get him down in bounds. They do. Nice run around that outside corner by Braden Tunnel, but only picked up a couple yards. You want a lot of yards, only get a couple.
And it's a terrific tackle out there by Devin Hackney, who has really come on strong the last few weeks on that defensive side of the football.
Clock moving toward the 125 mark. Now 122, and Campus gets their signal in, taking their time getting it in. You'd think maybe they would try to get down and get within field goal range, but I
think they're happy to
go all the way down to about to And there's a run by the quarterback as Bowen's open. Got a big yardage all the way, and then he steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. So that worked for them with 1:04 to go now. Stops the clock. Bowen looked like he was going to hand it off and just decided to go ahead and run the football. That option threat right there.
Well-designed play. Jalen Moriarty ran him out of bounds, but that's a big play again for Campus, who appeared to be happy to go into the locker room down 4. They just wanted to run a very safe play, and that safe play ended up in a pretty nice gain for them.
So 1st and 10 now at the 46. We see a 25-yard field goal early on. Let's see what the range might be. Here's Bowen, the quarterback, crouches under center, pitches it around on the outside, and taking around the outside is Dorton. Dorton cuts back and reverses field, still on his feet at the 30-yard line, has the first down, so that'll move the chains. And I thought he was going to be dropped at about the 40, which would have been short of the first down, but he kept it alive, and I think they're going to burn another timeout more than likely.
Pretty impressive run, and that's another big gain. So just like that, the Campus Colts advance all the way from their own 31-yard line to the Hutchinson 31-yard line.
We're going to keep it here during this timeout with 54 seconds to go. Don't forget about the Salt Hawk Football Grill Raffle. Dan will be naming that winner here coming up after we get through the first part of our halftime festivities, which will be the Medicine Shop in-game capsule and then USD 308 activity report brought to you by Culligan. And also some merchandise still available. If you spend $10, you get $10 of merchandise free. What kind of deal is that, Mr. Business Teacher?
That's what you call a BOGO.
That's a win-win, yes.
Buy one, get one free.
Or turn in 10 food drive items to receive a free T-shirt and 2 raffle tickets. So, heck of a deal right there.
That might be in conjunction with the Boys and Girls Club.
It is with the Boys and Girls Club. Also, don't forget that 10 for 10 coming up at halftime. 10 minutes for $10 helps out Gabe I with the GoFundMe account. If you don't know how to go to that, just go to Facebook, go to Gabe I Update, and you'll be able to click the link and get to it right there. Back to pass is Bowen, screen on the left side, caught, and good yardage picked up at 25 down to the 20 down the sidelines, cutting inside, and finally dropped inside the 5-yard line. A great catch and run by Braden Tuttle, and oh my, just getting away. Joe Blake on the sidelines. Tuttle caught that little screen over there and made something out of nothing.
Yeah, it was beautifully set up by Campus, and they were able to get upfield after he caught it and made a nice play for himself.
Sure did. 38 seconds to go before intermission here, and Campus with a chance to take the lead, Dan, right before halftime.
Clock is running.
Again, Bowen gives it straight ahead. Campus with the touchdown with 24 seconds remaining to go. In the second quarter of play, Campus has came back to take the lead.
I didn't catch the number of the player who scored
Joe,
that.
did you catch the number? I thought it maybe was number 20.
I did see that, but also I saw an unsportsmanlike conduct, I think.
Okay, unsportsmanlike. Was it prior to the touchdown or after the touchdown? It'll be on the kickoff, so it was after the TD.
Well, the bad news for the Hutchinson Salthawks, Campus took the ball at their own 31-yard line with 1:49 to play in the second quarter, drove it 69 yards in just a little bit over a minute to put 6 points on the board before halftime.
Jacob Dorton on the touchdown, number 20, and we're going to go with that for right now. We'll see if we're corrected or not.
We'll get our halftime stats and confirm
that was
it.
From about 5 yards out. Kick extra point is up and good, and just like that, it is 17-14. Hutchinson on the short end of the score as Campus has came back to score it to make it 17-14, 17 unanswered points by the Colts. We'll return for the Colt kickoff coming your way right after this from our fine sponsors.
The medicine shop, when you drop your prescriptions off, the personal care you'll find there will make you feel all better. The meds you need, delivered with speed, the lowest prices guaranteed. Get your prescriptions with no hassle at 14th and Main at the Little White Castle. You'll feel all better at the medicine shop.
Again, Dorton from 3 yards out with 24 seconds left to go in this second quarter as 3 scores by Campus. A field goal and then 2 touchdowns. This one, quick yardage down the field. That was set up with a nice, running by Nathan Bowen that took it all the way down to the 44 and then a long pass.
Salthawks would like to get a big run back here. Campus has to kick off from their own 25 after the unsportsmanlike conduct taunting penalty.
See if they can get it done. Here comes the kick. It's a little squibber up in the air, and Bonnie
fair
count at about the 40. So Hutchinson with 24 seconds remaining to go in the quarter will have the football. In good shape for a couple passes maybe. They'll mark it right at the 39. So, those 2 plays, the Nathan Bowen run down to the 44, and then you turn around and a nice catch by Braden Tunnel out of the screen over there and took it all the way down to about the 3, and then they took it in from there.
That screen went for about 28 yards. That was a beautifully executed screen play by Campus.
So Salthawks with 24 ticks left on the clock to use here in the second quarter. Now run a play, and they blow it dead. Chambers looked like he was going to pass. What do you see, Joe?
I've got a false start on Hutch.
Okay, false start against the Salthawks, so they'll back it up 5, and it makes it 1st and 15 with 22 seconds left to go.
Yeah, at this point, Hutchinson might want to be pretty cautious and just not do anything that might give Campus a quick score on a turnover. Go into the locker room and regroup.
Hutchinson scored 2 touchdowns to take a 14-0 lead, but back came Campus with a field goal from 25 yards out and then a couple touchdowns. One from 1 yard out by Bowen on the sneak with 3:02 to go. And they put it back to 24 on the game clock with the stoppage of play. And then also Dorton with a 3-yard run with 24 seconds remaining to go in the quarter. It's giving the Colts a 17-14 lead. Derby all over Mays now, 35-0, close to halftime. Here they keep straight up the middle. Smart anything play there, but a smart play. Not much can happen. Pick up of a couple yards, and once they crank it, should be pretty close to heading in for halftime, and that will be it.
And we're going to have an unsportsmanlike penalty called on us, I think. And Campus came away clapping.
Unsportsmanlike. It's going to be against the ball, so that'll mark it back with 11 seconds to go.
Wow.
Salina Central on top of Hayes, 14-3, and Pratt on top of Nickerson, 21-14. It's other plays.
Duvall, a captain for the Hutchinson Salthawks, and a few seconds ago, Brody Jones, a captain for the Campus Colts. Each of the captains assessed an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
And they won't get it off. That's going to be halftime right there. So they'll go to the locker rooms. Hutchinson trailing 17-14. Campus Colts with 3 unanswered scores, 2 of them touchdowns in the second quarter. We will take a 2-minute timeout. Come back and add everything up. 14-17. Hutchinson trailing Campus Colts at halftime. We'll be back with more in 2 minutes.
Big texters, heavy data users, helicopter moms. Nextech Wireless has you covered. And right now, we have the perfect deal going on. Here it is. For a limited time, 4 lines of unlimited data cost $120. Plus, you get 2 free iPhone 11s or Galaxy S10es when you activate any 2 devices. So get on down to Nextech Wireless and check it out. Get your free smartphones and unlimited data today at Nextech Wireless. We'll keep you connected. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salthawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, The Shirt Shack, where the shirt hits the fans. Randy Smith of Appalachian Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Meat. Hutchinson High School on Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
In need of a business loan? With the First, you are promised personal service and commercial lending. Whether your business is just getting started or you're ready to expand, the First has solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back at halftime. Your score at halftime, 17-14. Campus Colts with the lead. We'll get into the Medicine Shop in-game capsule in just a little bit, but we have a winner of our raffle that took place. Dan, why don't you tell them the winner?
Okay, again, this was for the grill donated by Walmart and the $250 gift certificate to Jackson Meat, along with 6 grilling accessories. And the Salt Hawk football team would like to congratulate their loyal fan, Josh Haney. I believe it's Heney.
Ticket number 117.
Ticket number 117. So congratulations, Josh. You've won the grill and the gift certificate to Jackson's Meat. That's fantastic. Thanks to all our loyal fans who purchased tickets this season.
Awesome. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to take one more 1-minute timeout because they want to take pictures up here real quick with this young lady that's up here with us. And we're going to be back with more coming your way from the booth right after this 1-minute timeout.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Salt Hawks! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Forward. Always moving. Never stagnant. Together. Nothing great is ever accomplished without it. At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century. Together with individuals, organizations, and communities, we look ahead to protect the people, places, and things they love. We're Fee Insurance Group. Forward. Together.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Again, Glenn Grunwald along with Dan Nacarano, Sarah Peterson, and Joe Blake at halftime. Again, it's time for the Medicine Shop in-game capsule. Little White Castle at 14th Main. They've been busy with all the flu shots. If you haven't got yours, be sure and get in there before they run out of vaccine and get set to get in there as well. And don't forget all the great pharmaceutical products that they have, both over-the-counter as well as CBD oil. And don't forget also they will deliver and they will transfer all your medications for you. Don't forget to go in and get that done if you possibly can before they run out of the flu vaccines. And again, the first half of play here on the in-game capsule, Corbin Williams with 1 TD for campus as he scored, carried the ball for 10 yards for 38 yards, 10 carries. Also Nathan Bowen with the touchdown as Hutchinson gave up 2 touchdowns and a field goal in the second quarter. Hutchinson jumped on board right away in the first quarter of play to get the quick touchdown with the ball from 7 yards out with 7 minutes to go in that first quarter play. And then you had Duvall with a second touchdown with 1:49 to go from 1 yard out. But then Campus came roaring back, got 3 scores. One was a 25-yard field goal by Kando, as well as also Bowen from 1 yard out, and then Dalton with the 3-yard touchdown to take the 17-14 lead. So Hutchinson's got some work to do. Gave up 3 straight scores. They'll see if they can get it done. It's been your Medicine Shop in-game capsule brought to you by the Little White Castle at 14th and Main. CBD oil, all over-the-counter products, as well as great pharmaceutical and pharmacy help. Compound pharmacists for all your needs as well. That's the Medicine Shop. So doing a great job each and every year. We'll get set for the USD 308
It's
activity
easy to
report.
make sure you're drinking clean, healthy water every day with all of Culligan's state-of-the-art water treatment products, including water softeners, drinking water systems, or bottled water. You can get what works for you. You'll start enjoying the health benefits right away, and you'll start saving on future replacement costs of appliances and faucets. For better water, pure and simple, call your locally owned Culligan, serving Central Kansas with offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Great Bend.
It's halftime, and it's time for the USD 308 Weekly Activity Report, brought to you by Culligan Water of Hutchinson, Lyons, and Great Bend. Give your Culligan man a call at 669-9375. Rethink how your home drinks. Culligan Water Systems change everything, from laundry and showering to drinking and cooking. And now, here with the Weekly Activity Report is Hutch High Junior Sarah Peterson.
Hey, Salt Hawk fans, here's your Hutch High Activity Report for next week. On Saturday, October 26th, cross country will be at Milford State Park for a regional competition. Volleyball will travel to Derby to participate in sub-state and match up with Liberal in the first round. On Monday, October 28th, boys varsity soccer will participate in the 6A regional at Dodge City versus Dodge. The regional will be held at 4 different sites. On Friday, November 1st, varsity football will be on the road at one of several possible 6A sub-state sites. Check back with HutchPost.com tomorrow when seedings are announced. That's your USD 308 activity report for the next week.
That was this week's USD 308 Weekly Activity Report, brought to you by Culligan Water of Hutchinson, Lyons, and Great Bend. Give your Culligan man a call at 620-669-9375. Rethink how your home drinks. Culligan Water Systems change everything, from laundry and showering to drinking and cooking. We'll be back with more from halftime on the Hutchinson Salt Hawk Sports Network.
Swimming pool season is coming to an end, and that makes us sad at Pools Plus. To keep the party going, we have extended the sale on all outdoor furniture. Take advantage of the huge savings on all the fun, bright-colored chairs, tables, and benches. Strong enough to withstand the Kansas weather and pretty enough to add some extra pop in your outdoor decor. Come see what Pools Plus has to offer. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
Call us at Pools Plus.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salt Hawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, The Shirt Shack, where the shirt hits the fans. Randy Smith of Appalachian Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Me. Hutchinson High School and Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
Test 1 2 1 2. That's a familiar voice doing the test. We're glad that everyone's back with us here at Gowan Stadium, where the campus Colts currently lead the Hutchinson Salt Hawks at halftime, 17-14. And you might have heard that voice saying test 1 2, test 1 2, and I bet you everybody recognized it.
I can't count any higher.
We know better than that, that's for sure. It was hard for me to start talking when we came back from the break, because Rusty Hilst has joined us in the press box. I've been looking forward to this all season long, Rusty, because it's just always a pleasure to visit with you, and I'm so glad that you're with us tonight here at Gowan Stadium.
Well, the feeling is mutual. We had a good many games that we worked together, a good many trips, and I always enjoy talking to you.
Well, it's probably not...
I haven't changed your political persuasion, but I keep trying.
Keep working on me. I'm an open-minded type person, but... I've told a lot of people that the reason I'm in broadcasting, I think this is the 6th year, is plain and simple. Rusty Hilst invited me, and when Rusty Hilst invites someone for something, you say yes. That's the way it works.
Well, I wish that were true. It doesn't always work that way, I can tell you that. But I knew you'd do a good job, and you certainly have.
Well, thank you for all your mentorship. I really appreciate everything that you and Glenn Grodwald have done and continue to do, not only for radio broadcasts, but for the city of Hutchinson and this area, and in your case, well beyond, with all the involvement you have with youth golf.
Well, if you're going to be a radio broadcaster, you better find a way to have fun, because it is a time-consuming item to be a broadcaster, and if you can't have fun doing it, don't start.
Well, as we're talking about broadcasting, let's go to that topic for just a second. You broadcasted for 50 years, and I'm just curious, if you had a time machine and you could go back and talk to yourself that first or second year you were doing play-by-play, what advice would you give to yourself?
Wow. Be a lot more prepared than I was at the time that I started. You know, seriously, though, if I were talking to an 18-year-old who thought that they wanted to be a broadcaster, one of the first things I'd say to them is read. Read, read, read. learn a good vocabulary, learn a lot of different ways to say the same thing. I don't think there's any substitution for reading, because you have to paint a picture for the person who's listening, so they can almost visualize what's happening in the basketball game or the football game, as the case may be. And you can't just say things the same way every time without getting boring. So a good vocabulary becomes really, really important. And the ability to know how to use your voice. Now, you're a teacher, as am I, and we know that there are times that you're loud, you're making a point. There's other times where maybe the class is getting a little bit noisier than you'd like to have them, and so you quiet down so they'll quiet down. But you got to change the inflection in your voice, and you have to become good at that. Not every play is a great play. You don't want to overuse things like great. You want to be able, you should always be enthusiastic, but you can't be excited all the time without it becoming a tiresome thing. So I'd say those are some of the things that you ought to know. And then the other obvious things, know the sport that you're broadcasting. Talk to the coaches. Find out what you can about what they're trying to do. And then just prepare. You can't do too much preparation for a football game or a basketball game. Most of the material that you organize, you'll never use. But if you get into a situation, for instance, a basketball game comes down to a free throw with 5 seconds to go. I want to know how good a free thrower that kid is that's standing there at the free throw line, and so do the people that are listening. And you can't do that unless you've prepared. And then I think it's important for a play-by-play guy to realize, get your ego under control. You're part of a team, just like you are if you're a kid down there on the football field playing. You are no better than the people that are around you. You're no better than the person doing color, the person down there on the sidelines, the person back at the station making it possible for the broadcast to go out there on the air. So get your ego under control and appreciate those people for what they are. And that's people who help you sound better. And I guess maybe the only other thing I would say is, and you're really good at this, most people when they interview, which you're going to do at halftime a lot, it's easy for a broadcaster with an ego to start thinking people want to hear what he says. No, they don't. They don't want to hear what I have to say if I'm doing the interview. They want to hear what the person has to say that's being talked to. So listen to the response and let that dictate your next question. Those would be some of the things that I'd think of.
That's excellent advice. And I'll tell you what, things have not changed very much. This is Rusty Hilst, longtime 50-year broadcaster, award-winning broadcaster, talking to us. And when Rusty talks, it's worth listening to. And I was wondering if these games would even count if you weren't doing the play-by-play this year. I didn't know if it would be an official game.
Well, you're really kind, and I really enjoyed doing the broadcasts, and there are parts of it that I missed this year. I miss doing the games, but I don't miss all the time that it took to get ready to do the games, and outside of our conversations, I don't miss the drive back home.
Well, and see, I always look forward to our trips together, and we'll find some reasons to go on a few road trips, whether we're broadcasting or not. This is Rusty Hilst. I'm Coach Knack. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and want to come back and ask you the same question about if you could go back in time and talk to yourself as a first-year teacher. What advice would you give yourself? We'll be back in 1 minute.
Hutchinson Community College and Blue Dragon Athletics are proud to support Hutchinson Salt Hawk football. Whether you're working towards your degree or a busy working individual with limited time to attend class, Hutch CC has what you're looking for. And for those still in high school, Hutchinson Community College's Step Ahead program provides a head start on a quality education, and it may not cost the student anything. Visit hutchcc.edu or call 888-GO-HUTCH for more details. And good luck this season to the Salt Hawks.
Welcome to the Hutchinson Medicine Shop. With the emergence of big business, not only in pharmacy, but all industries, the Medicine Shop is proud to be a thriving local business in Hutchinson. We're so thankful to our customers in Hutchinson, Reno County, and Central Kansas for your support. In turn, we're proud to be a major sponsor of the Hutch High Salt Hawks, as well as other area high schools, the Blue Dragons, Chiefs, Royals, Jayhawks, and Wildcats. You support us, and the Hutchinson Medicine Shop supports local sports.
It's halftime. The Hayesville Campus Colts lead the Hutchinson Salt Hawks 17-14 here at Hutchinson at Gallant Stadium. I'm Coach Knack, joined by Rusty Hilst. Rusty, thank you so much for your thoughts about broadcasting. Now let's shift gears to your real first love. You've been a lifelong educator. How many years have you been teaching?
Well, I'm teaching part-time now. I just teach mornings, but this is 54 years, all of it at Hutchinson High School.
That's a lot of students that you've helped through the years. Now, go back in that time machine to your first year of teaching. What would you tell yourself to do differently?
Everything. I was not a very good teacher the first year, but I'm one of these OCD kind of people that if I get into something, I'm going to wind up doing it as best I possibly can, and that was characteristic of teaching. But thank goodness that I didn't get evaluated for a career on that first year performance. I tell kids going into education right now, make sure before you go into the profession that you really enjoy young people, enjoy being around them. If you don't, you're not going to be successful. And obviously you have to know the subject that you're going to teach. And some of the things that I'm going to say about teaching are going to remind people of what I just said about broadcasting. But I think you almost have to be compulsive about being prepared. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of very, very bright young people, and that's a great privilege. And a lot of people think it's easy, and I'm here to tell you that it really isn't, because you can't afford to have a bad day when your audience is full of bright people. You need to
kind of like tonight.
Yeah, you need to be well. Thank you. You need to be sure that you're ready to present the material. And understand that you've got an awesome responsibility. You're dealing with young kids, and I think sometimes we don't realize how much impact we have on kids. The kids that you have in your class now, I happen to be teaching calculus right now, and calculus is a tough subject. And a lot of the kids that I have will go through it and learn a great deal. Others will learn a lesser amount. But I was told early on that you ought to be able to have a positive impact on every kid in your classroom. Every kid in your classroom, regardless of the grade that they get, should be a better person at the end of the term for having had you as a teacher. And I think if you can accomplish that, you're doing a great job. You're a role model for these kids, and you want to make sure that you do positive things in front of kids. One of the things that I think is really important in this world, and an awful lot of people have forgotten this, is how important it is to be kind and to be considerate of others. Try to make other people feel better. Don't be self-centered. I think that's tremendously important. And I think to be a good teacher, you've got to build a relationship with kids. I'm 76 years old. I'm in a classroom. The kids I'm working with are 17 and 18. And if they think of me as a 76-year-old, they're not going to pay much attention to me. So I tell kids on the first day of school how old I am. I said, you're sitting there wondering, how old is he? And I tell them, well, I'm 76. I'll be 77 at Christmas time. But I make you a promise that never, ever will I act my age. And every now and then I ask the kids, I said, am I acting my age? And so far they keep telling me no. But you got to build that relationship with kids. You don't have to be everybody's friend. They have to respect you. If they like you too, that's a great bonus. And obviously the reason that I'm still teaching is because I enjoy the relationships that I've been able to establish with kids.
How do you get to school every morning?
I walk.
And how long has that been going on?
It'll be 8 years. It was a New Year's resolution 8 years ago.
What happens when it's cold outside and windy and the weather?
I wear more layers, but I haven't missed a day in 8 years.
Well, I really appreciate everything you do. It's great to have you back in the press box tonight, Rusty Hills. Thank you for everything. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but we'll do it again.
All right. Dan, always a pleasure.
My pleasure.
Take care. Good luck to the Salthawks in the second half.
Absolutely. And we are lucky to have a lot of smart listeners out there, so it's just like those people in the calculus class. There's a lot of very intelligent people listening to KWBW Radio tonight. We'll be back in... You want to go 2 minutes, Glenn? We'll be back in 2 minutes, and Glenn Grunwald will join us back on the microphone again. Thank you.
Big texters, heavy data users, helicopter moms. Nextech Wireless has you covered. And right now, we have the perfect deal going on. Here it is. For a limited time, 4 lines of unlimited data cost $120. Plus, you get 2 free iPhone 11s or Galaxy S10es when you activate any 2 devices. So get on down to Nextech Wireless and check it out. Get your free smartphones and unlimited data today at Nextech Wireless. We'll keep you connected. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Getting the most back from your tax return starts with getting the most expertise. H&R Block has more enrolled agents than any other tax preparation company, and we guarantee the accuracy of every return prepared by our tax professionals. We find every credit and deduction to lower your tax bill. Put our expertise to work on your return, and don't just get your taxes done, get your taxes won in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth.
Well, McEwen with a quick return on the kickoff, as they normally put 3 minutes on because along halftime they did not, Dan. And Hutchinson's got to get things going here right now, giving up 3 straight scores in that second quarter. The last for a go-ahead touchdown, 17-14 is where we stand. Again, campus on top. So Hutchinson football, they have it down in the deep in their own territory at about the 15-yard line. Little or no gain on the play. Pick up maybe a couple yards. Pretty safe call by the ball, taking it up the middle, and that's got to get it going.
In that first half, campus outgained Hutchinson 175 yards to 128. Each team ran 25 plays. Campus had a few big plays, and Hutchinson didn't.
So with the football will be the Salthawks. They have it 2nd down and 8 is the call on their own 17-yard line. Dallas Chambers, the senior quarterback for Hutchinson. Down under center, has a man in motion. Turn the rocket pitch on the outside to the left. McEwen across the 20-yard line. Cuts back inside against the grain up to about the 24. So positive yardage. Short of the first down, however. They'll have a 3rd down and short. They'll be facing a 3rd down and short, I should say.
Things getting a little bit chippy out there on the field. The players on both teams desperately want to win this game.
I want to remind everybody that you have about just a few more minutes for 10 for 10 for the Gabe I donation that you can make on the GoFundMe account. It's just really easy to do. As a matter of fact, they just sent out our winner of the grill was one of the first ones to sign up for that help with Gabe I. There's a pitch on the outside, and it's going to turn it loose at the 30 and cross the 30 up to about the 35-yard line. Looks like it's McEwen again around the corner.
Good gain by the Hutchinson Salthawks. Pick up that first down, get a drive going here. Glenn, did we find out? We had a little bit of a hard time reading
it. It was Josh Henry.
Josh Henry. I apologize for not pronouncing your last name right, Josh. I just wasn't sure.
Lawrence 14, Free State 7 in the second quarter of play. We'll keep track of that score as we go through. So that, again, also Josh Haney, was who it was.
So maybe I did say
Josh
that right.
was the first fan to donate to the Paying for Gabe GoFundMe account. How about that?
Well, I think I said Haney. It's actually Haney.
Haney, I'm sorry.
Haney. Now we got it right.
Coming from 3 different directions here. Move the first ball of football for the 1st and 10 for Hutch. 9:54 to go in this third quarter of play. They'll move it up to the 38-yard line. So Hutchinson facing now a 2nd down and 4. We'll see if that can make a difference or not. 2nd down and 4 situation. And Hutchinson, he's just getting a nice long drive, play Hutchinson football, try to get back in this ball game and get the momentum back on the Salthawk side of the sideline. Keep by Chambers. The pitch on the outside is loose football and trying to get to it. It's still loose on the football and looks like the Colts have came up with it and a fumble on the play. Again, Barlow on the carry, and he just can't, with that cast, hang on to the football. Ends up being a big turnover.
Bryson Gilchrist recovered the fumble. Bryson Gilchrist, one of the captains for the campus Colts. And the distance between Barlow and Chambers just wasn't right. Their spacing wasn't good. And as you said, Glenn, Barlow has a cast.
He has a cast on. It makes it tough out there. And turn the ball over. Now the Colts have a chance to make a statement right here.
Didn't have a good spacing-pitch relationship, and it just didn't work.
With the football, Williams on the carry. Off tackle, he runs. Pick up maybe about a yard. 2nd down and 9 for the campus Colts. Going to go down the sidelines to, again, Joe Blake, sponsored by Brown Shoe Fit, as well as Papa John's Pizza. And just a tough break right there for Barlow, as he just never could get a handle on the ball. And Hutchinson coughed it up again, Joe.
Yeah, the main thing being talked about down here was the spacing between Barlow and Chambers on that play. So hopefully they can
you can really see that. That was the difference in that one. Again, Joe's comments brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. There's a pitch on the outside. That was successful around the outside. It's Williams. Carries it for the 1st down inside the 20. See where they officially mark it at about the 16-yard line. So a good job right there by, again, campus around that left side. So that'll bring up a 1st down for the campus Colts. They'll mark it at the 16, Dan Nacarado, and Hutchinson needs to bow their neck here a little bit and stop them from getting into the end zone.
Heck of a test for that Hutchinson Salt Hawk defense.
All right, long snap count now down in the center is Bowen. He'll keep it himself, stumbles forward, picks up a couple of positive yards across the 15. On the keeper, down to about, they'll mark it at the 13-yard line. So campus knocking on the door again. Hutchinson right now down 17-14. 3rd quarter action, 8:22 to go in the 3rd. Salt Hawks trying to stay secure where they are for the playoff situation. More than anything, get some momentum going into the playoffs.
When I said they'd be an 11 seed, quite honestly, I was counting on Hutchinson winning this game tonight.
Could be precarious and go the other direction, so we'll see. Quarterback sneak again. Williams on this keep, not the quarterback, the running back. Pick up of a couple, 3rd down and about 5. So South playing Bishop Carroll. We'll try to catch a score on that here in just a little bit. Topeka all over Topeka West, 52-0 in the 3rd. So Topeka is going to go to 7-1. And we'll check the other scores as they come in.
Topeka was the opponent for the Salt Hawks last year in an exciting playoff game.
Here's Campus Colts. They'll keep it around that left side and close to the 1st down. I think they got it down to the 5-yard line. Joe, you might have a better angle than I do. It looked like he surged forward to about the 5 for the 1st down.
Yeah, he did get a nice surge there and also got a pretty favorable spot, but they do move the chains.
So that'll move it down to 1st and goal situation from the 5. By the way, Lawrence on top of Free State now 21-10, and that's in the 2nd quarter of play.
Lawrence on top of Free State. That's a good matchup.
All right, Bowen, the quarterback, has a man in motion. Now he gets back and sets up, checks off. And let's see if they'll get it from the side. They do. Hutch fans wanted an illegal procedure. Keep by Bowen, nothing there. Hutchinson defense all over him. Big job done by this Hutchinson interior lineman right there. And, Joe, that was 3 big Hutch players right on top of Bowen.
Yes, it was, and I believe Selden Jones led that charge and busted up the play in the backfield.
Selden Jones getting in there and knocks him back. A loss of a yard on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 5.
Selden Jones, one of the captains for Hutchinson, and he is playing through some pain. He's had some injury problems throughout the season, but he is playing through it.
All right, big defensive stand needed here. 2nd down. The run around the outside. That's Bowen trying to get around the outside. He will surge into the end zone. Actually, with the football for campus was number 19, Braden Tunnel. Tunnel took it around that outside edge for 5 yards, and campus 23-14 now on top of the Salt Hawks. Wow.
Good run. 6-yard touchdown run.
So 6 yards out, happened at the 6:02 mark of the 3rd period. Tunnel getting it done right there. Now the point after try. Here's the hold. The kick is up and on its way, and it is good. And with your score, with 6:02 to go in the third period of play, it's Campus Colts 24. Again, the Salt Hawks 14. We'll be back with the Campus Colt kickoff coming your way right after this on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salt Hawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, the Shirt Check, where the shirt hits the fans. Or you're ready to Randy Smith of Appalachian Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Meat. Hutchinson High School and Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
In the campus kickoff, as the Colts just made it look too easy. They got the turnover, and off the turnover, they took it down all the way down to the 5-yard line. Hutch got that big surge defensively, but then taking around that right side with plenty of room, and a good scamper around that right side by Tunnel.
Hutchinson was moving the ball, too, as they took the opening kickoff of the third quarter, but the turnover really hurt.
So here comes the opening kick,
Campus,
and it is
way offside.
Way offside.
They had one of the cover players for Campus was about 3 yards beyond the 40-yard line when the ball was kicked. Glenn, that gives me just a second, if you'll indulge me. Mm-hmm. It's always a pleasure visiting with Rusty Hilst. We've worked together for so long, and you've worked even longer than I have. However, I just want to commend you for the job you're doing with play-by-play. You not only do the play-by-play, you direct traffic so well, you have all of the equipment ready to go. You're a true professional.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, good to see Rusty, and I know he misses it at the same time. I know he said he doesn't miss the preparation, and I commend him for getting out when he did, and that's the way I'm going to do it too. It won't be too long, and I'll be hanging up the old microphone. Here comes the second kickoff. It's going to go out of bounds. Yeah. So now where do you mark that at?
You could take it at the 40-yard line, or you could make them kick it again.
I think I'd maybe take it at the 40. What do you think?
40-yard line is pretty good starting field position.
Going to do. Let's give us some scores real quick. Lawrence Free State 21-10. Lawrence over Free State 21-10. Also. A couple other scores, Southeast Saline 21, Council Grove 7. Those are some of the scores that are starting to come in as well. We'll keep our eye open for that Bishop Carroll and South score, as well as also some of the other ones around the area. 6:02 to go. Hutch will take it at the 40-yard line. And we're in the third period of play. Salt Hawks down to the Colts 24-14. So Hutchinson trying to get back and get something going here. They had it working well in the first quarter to get up the middle. Pick up of maybe 3 or 4 yards on the safe keeper up the middle.
Hutchinson wants to put some points on the board because they started out 14-0 in this contest in the first quarter, and it looked like they were well on their way to controlling this football game, but then Campus has now scored 24 unanswered points.
Bishop Carroll 24-0 on top of Wichita South. So South looks like they might go to 3-5 if that continues. So we'll have to see if that will remain or not. Here's a keeper by the Salt Hawks. They get the pitch around on the outside and across the 50, across the 45, all the way down to the 40-yard line on the carry. Nice job by the Salt Hawks. Braden Rogers.
Again, the pitch relationship, the spacing was not what you want it to be, but Dallas Chambers and Braden Rogers made it work anyway.
So Rogers took it all the way from the 43 all the way down to the 42 of the Colts. So Hutchinson really needs to answer back on that touchdown.
Absolutely. They did a nice job on that play of, under not ideal situation, making it work.
Man in motion, McEwen, rocket pitch on the outside to the 40. Cuts inside, spins around to the 35-yard line, still on his feet, carries forward for another couple of yards. An 8-yard pickup by McEwen. Second down and 2 now from the 33.
And you know Campus Colts really wants to pick up this win. Really the closest game Campus had all season was against Newton. That was also a close game between Hutchinson and Newton. Campus lost that one 27-24.
And that was the beginning of the season.
It was. All the other games have been a pretty wide margin with Campus on the short side.
Salthawks have it on the right hash mark. They give the ball up the middle. Has the first down and more. It's across the 30 down to about the 29, 28-yard line. They'll move the chains. Now, Hutchinson working that right hash mark over there. I believe if you're going to try to rock a pitch, maybe come to this side so you got more room to turn the corner. That's me, Dan. You coached it before, so you know.
This is a team that can go either direction on that play or any other play. Their offensive line is very balanced. Good blocking on both sides.
Not in 6A playoffs, but Salina South 27, Newton 3, Ark Valley League play. The pitch, just as I indicated, to the left side. McEwen trying to turn the corner. Or is that Rogers on the carry? Rogers carries it all the way down to about the 23-yard line. So Rogers getting a lot of calls today, moves the football, and picks up positive yardage of about 7 yards.
You predicted it, Glenn, and you hit it right on the head. They decided to go to the wide side of the field. It is a nice luxury when you have a football team that can go either direction with the offensive plays.
Well, I mean, common sense is you're stacked up on the right side there. Now you have it on the left hash mark with 2nd down and 4. So precarious position with 3:10 on the clock here, but Hutch really needs to get 7 out of this drive some way. Get into the red zone. Chambers keeps it, cuts upfield himself. He has some room all the way across the 15, drugged down to about the 13-yard line. He was one step away from maybe popping it right there, and it'll move the chains, however, with 2:56 to go. And Hutchinson trying to answer back that, tunnel touchdown run that he made up the opposite end for the Colts.
Hutchinson has a nice offensive rhythm going right now.
So it'll bring him up to the line of scrimmage. Left side to go with the slot. Hutchinson heavy left this time on a wide out. And a man in motion give to the ball. Works his way across the line, 10-yard line down to the 9. Gets a little push from behind and down to about the 9-yard lines where they'll mark it. So brings up a 2nd down and 5 from the 9 for Hutchinson.
We have a good football game going here at Gowan Stadium. Tell your friends to tune in to KWBW 1450 AM, 98.5 FM, or take a look at YouTube, Salthawk Sports.
Again, KWBW, the voice of the Salthawks, KWBW, Hutchinson, Kansas. Chambers down in the center. Snap count, the turn, to give to the ball, straight up the middle, picks his hole up on the right side, working all the way toward the goal line down at about the 1. Now marking officially at the 2, as his knee hit down there. And again, Hutchinson driving it. This drive started at the 40 after 2 kickoffs. After the score by the Colts with 1:35 to go here, though, Hutchinson knocking on the door right here, trying to get their 3rd score of the night. First 2 came in the first quarter, and we looked back and said, hey, this is going to be a pretty good ball game for Hutchinson, leading 14-0, quick scores. But then came the Colts. In motion, contact, and McEwen, was that McEwen that fell down? But the motion caused the defensive player to come across half the distance to the goal line.
Alec McEwen went in motion from his L slot position, and he was going to come back to the left, but he lost his balance and fell down, and in the process, the Campus Colts jumped offside.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line, half the distance to go. If you're going to make it, well, it wasn't Alex's fault because they made him jump, but he did make him jump. But he was trying to do the man in motion back to where he was, and kind of a comical error right there. Here the ball's on the 1. Turn, give to the ball, I believe, up the middle. Still not in, no signal. They say it's down to about the 1-foot line. And it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 1. Clock moving away at the 45 seconds to go in the 3rd.
Hasn't this 3rd quarter just flown by?
It sure has. Sure has.
Most important thing here, Hutchinson has to secure the football because Campus is in that situation where they're going to gamble, and you have to really cover the football with both hands.
All right, now they break center. They'll split out wide on the left side. Newquist on the left, goes heavy left, ball on the right hash mark. Chambers on the quarterback sneak. Across, and is he in? No signal as of yet. He did not get across. He's about a foot away. Yeah, let's see if Hutchinson spins this one out a little bit, and Chambers did not get in. It'll bring up a third down call, and we go to the fourth quarter. As time runs out in the third period of play, we'll go to the fourth quarter play. Hutchinson with the ball on the 1-yard line when we come back with more. Fourth quarter just around the corner on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the
solutions to help make your business successful. We're first for you. Find out how our loan experts can help. Visit fnbhutch.bank to get started, or stop into a location nearest you. First National Bank of Hutchinson, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Salt Hawks! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
All right, the Salt Hawks facing a third down and 1 here as we start the fourth period of play. And we thought that Chambers might have came up limping a little bit on that, the attempt from the touchdown, but let's see, he's back in there, so it looks to be okay. Third down and 1. Chambers turns, gives it to the ball. He spins into the end zone, backs it in from 1 yard out to the ball with his third touchdown of the night. And, well, that's just what the doctor ordered, Joe Blake, is he was able to got hit at the line, but it spun around and went in backwards.
Yeah, and he kind of bobbled the exchange from Dallas Chambers there and luckily secured it before he just decided to focus on getting in the end zone.
2 seconds deep into the fourth quarter, and Hutchinson 24-20 now. Here comes the try for the extra point.
This is a huge extra point. Get it within a field goal.
Here's a hold, boost kick, up and good. So 24-21 is your score with 58 to go in fourth quarter of action. That'll bring us back with more coming your way in just a little bit. Right here on the Salt Hawk Radio Network. Don't go away. 24-21. Undersells the ball game. Colts on top.
Forward. Always moving. Never stagnant. Together. Nothing great is ever accomplished without it. At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century. Together with individuals, organizations, and communities, we look ahead to protect the people, places, and things they love. We're Fee Insurance Group. Forward. Together.
Now, basically, a whole quarter of play to go as Hutchinson trailing 24-21, but more importantly, Dan Nacarado, they got on the board in this second half of play after giving up 4 scores in a row to the Campus Colts.
That's right. They had to get that tide switched. Football is a definite sport of momentum, and Hutchinson wants to build it. And this game is about as even as you could get statistically. Campus, 203 yards of total offense. Hutchinson, 200 yards of total offense.
One little bit of a surprise. The score I passed on to you. Third quarter score, Emporia 7, Junction City nothing. And Junction City is a possible destination for the Salt Hawks. There's a kick away, and it's going to be taken at the 18 and returned by the Colts up across the 30 and dropped there. Oh, still on his feet. I thought he was down, and carries it out across the 40 up to about the 43-yard line. Nice return out there. Again by the Campus Colts. As Dakota J took it back and got it close. Well, actually, it was Bryce Connell got it back and carried it up, and now marked the ball right at the 43-yard line. So first and 10.
Second effort got him about an extra 13 yards because Salt Hawks pretty much had him corralled back about the 30, and he just refused to go down, kept his balance, and gained some more yards.
I saw the pack of Salt Hawks around him at the 30. Actually glanced down to make sure I had the name correct. All of a sudden, by the time I looked up, he was across the 40, still moving to the north. So Nathan Bowen, the quarterback, fine quarterback, keeps it himself, folds upfield, and picks up maybe about 1. Second down will be the call. Second down in, we'll call it 8.
This is a critical defensive series for the Hutchinson Salthawks.
Actually, 2nd down and 10. Didn't get any gain on the play, but you're right. Hutchinson really needs to get the defense roaring here and cause them to have to punt, or maybe even better than that, a turnover, because you do not want campus to get a long drive down the field just like the Salthawks just had, about a 6-minute drive where they pumped it into the end zone. The pitch on the outside, room to run on the outside for Williams. He's going to be brought down at the 48-yard line, short of the first down, but Williams just starting to turn it upfield. And working hard out there was Williams. Corbin Williams, he is a junior. They're going to return a lot of key players that are playing key positions as juniors next year. Bowen being one of them, the quarterback, and then also, again, Williams, who just carried the football, Dan.
Campus will keep getting better and better under Coach Cruz.
Man in motion. That's tunnel.
Tried to pull Hutchinson off sides because they have less than 5 to go for the first down.
10:36 to go.
Good discipline by that defensive line.
We're in the fourth quarter of play. They go back and check off again. 3rd down and short, 3rd and 4. Back to pass on the right side. Catch is made. First down is good on the catch. He took it all the way to the 44-yard line. Caught it and immediately tackled over there on the far side. Tate Rico. Hinaha with the stop.
Maddox Hinaha had the coverage, but it was an excellent route. He just got out there 6 yards, turned around, and the ball was there.
Joe Blake, they always talk about going far enough to get the first down. That's what he did.
Yep, saw the sticks and came right back to the ball and moved the chains.
We're on 1st and 10 now from the 44 of Hutchinson for the Campus Colts. They'll check off.
Strong left formation. It's a leftover formation.
Get back down under center. The turn to keep up the field. And Nathan Bowen with the quarterback keeper picks up a couple yards.
Hutchinson wants Campus to hurry up a little bit more, and Campus is doing a good job of using the entire play clock. Colts nursing that 3-point lead with 9.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
I think there's Braylon Jay in there at quarterback, looks to be like number 16. I'll double check that. Around the outside, trying to pick up some room, and then finally knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Pick up of only a couple yards on the carry for the Colts.
And it did stop the clock because he went out of bounds. The third quarter stat sheet shows Braylon Jay with a touchdown.
So I think that's who's been in there and just getting mixed up with the numbers. So Jay, the quarterback, although Nathan Bowen started the ball game. So Braylon Jay, number 16, the quarterback now, looks to the sidelines. Gets set up. Braden Tunnel in that slot left has gotten a lot of carries. He wants to throw the football, and Hutchinson throwing for a big sack all the way back across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Boy, what a sack by Hutchinson.
That's Dylan Peterson on the blitz. Came from his outside linebacker position and threw the quarterback for a big loss.
Joe, you probably had a better slot. Joe Blake on the sideline, brought to you by Brown Shoe Fed as well as Papa John Pizza. He just came in there on the blitz, streaking.
Yes, he did, and he was ready for that play, and he was excited after it, and made a great play and took him down by himself.
The quarterback, again, Jay running away from him, Dan, and by the time he got to him, that's a huge loss on the play. Here comes the bat snap. They're going to kick it away. Got 2 at a time. Hutchinson with a chance to return, and they get it out to 19, straight up the field. Sidesteps one defender trying to get to the outside, over another, and finally dropped it about the 29-yard line. So Hutchinson with the possession now, trying to get the ball down the field. A great return there by Hutchinson.
Zach Hogan on the return. All right, it's crunch time for that Hutchinson Salthawk flexbone offense to show what they can do. This is where they'd like to go on a long drive and score towards the end of the game.
Got the information that Taven Smith might have been injured on a play there.
Taven Smith wearing a different number tonight.
Wearing number 17 tonight.
Normally wears number 8, but there was no number 8 in the black uniforms.
All right, here we get set. Hutchinson football, trying to get something going. Nothing there.
Wow.
Chambers is just brought down very, very quickly on the loss.
Give a lot of credit there to the Campus Colts. They got in the backfield quickly.
That's similar to the sack that Hutchinson had gotten earlier in the quarter. 2nd down and 14 to go now for the Salthawks. 7:58 to go. And, Dan, it might come down to this drive right here. Salthawks took a long time on the last drive, and they could do a similar type of thing. Now they're facing 2nd and long yardage. Here's the fake to the pitch on the outside. Rogers doesn't have it. One to throw it as Chambers does. It's going to be picked off. It's picked off at the 35-yard line by the Hayesville Colts. And they're turning upfield. That's Christian Chicard all the way down, and a flag on the play down to about the 10-yard line. The worst thing that you could have happen was to throw the pick right there. Chambers threw it right into the outstretched arms of Christian Chicard. I don't even think he saw him. Joe, you were right down there on the sideline.
Yeah, and I don't think he saw him either. And then he was running out of bounds on the pass and came back into the play to make the tackle. This might be half the distance to the goal.
All right, let's check and see what it's going to be as they'll come out and tell us here in a second. Yep.
Joe got it exactly right.
Joe got it exactly right.
Joe usually gets things right.
It came from out of bounds. It came back in. It'll be to half the distance to the goal line. And, boy, this sets it up for Campus. They lead it right now 24-21. Now, Hutchinson maybe could try to hold them to a field goal here and still have an opportunity to come away with a winner tonight. Again, down under center is Braylon Jay. Jay, the quarterback, to turn to get to Williams straight up the middle. Touchdown, Campus Colts.
Boy, they made that one look a little bit too easy.
Colts took it right up the middle, but somebody different finally. Williams scoring. He took it right up the middle and scored it with 7:30 to go in his 4th period of play. That one coming from about 6 yards out. Wow, that made it look easy. So the point after now, 30-21, trying to give him a 10-point lead. Here's a kick. It's up and on its way, and it is good. And all of a sudden, with 7:30 to go in the contest, Hutchinson down to the Colts, 31-21. We'll be back with more on the Salthawk Radio Network and the Colts kickoff right after this.
Swimming pool season is coming to an end, and that makes us sad at Pools Plus. To keep the party going, we have extended the sale on all outdoor furniture. Take advantage of the huge savings on all the fun, bright-colored chairs, tables, and benches. Strong enough to withstand the Kansas weather and pretty enough to add some extra pop in your outdoor decor. Come see what Pools Plus has to offer. Shop local, shop Pools Plus, 21 East 1st in downtown Hutchinson.
Call us at Pools Plus.
Well, 7:30 to remain to go in this first half of play. It's not first part of the 4th quarter. Let me get it straight. As Hutchinson trailing now 31-21. Just a tough turnover. A couple of Colt scores have came off of turnovers. One to fumble, and this one now to pick that took it all the way down. And an illegal participation took it down to the 6. And the score was made by Williams from 6 yards out. Here comes the kick by the Colts. End-over-end kick taken at the 13-yard line by the Salthawks. Need a good return. Upfield, Hutchinson will take it, gain all the way back up to about the 27-yard line. So that's where Hutchinson will set up shop. They have 7:25 to make something happen here and try to get back in this game. Be nice if they could get a quick score, Dan, and then try to have as much time on the clock as possible. A couple scores to pass on. Dodge City, 3rd quarter, 38-6 over Liberal. Bueller, 13-10 over Winfield. Salina Central, 21-3 over Hayes. And again, Emporia and Junction City locked up at 7 apiece in the 4th quarter of play.
Coach Millison's doing a good job with the Emporia Spartans.
Here to give up the middle for the Salthawks and up to about the 29-yard line. So pick up of a couple, 2nd down and 8.
Hutchinson's going to need to pick up the pace a little bit on that scoring drive in the 3rd and first play of the 4th quarter. It took them a little bit over 6 minutes to drive at 60 yards to score the touchdowns. They don't have that luxury now because they need 2 scores.
So, Isaiah Duvall with the carry, 2nd down and 8. I said to a couple people in the booth when you're doing the interview with Rusty that I just think they need to just give it to the ball and ride with it. Here's back to pass. Chambers trying to get the quick one all the way out. Coming back to the football. Can't get to it at the 50-yard line. Chambers threw it as far as he could, and he knew his receivers would have to come back for it. trying to get it to Newquist. Fell incomplete at the 50.
Newquist gave it a valiant effort to try to come catch that football. It just was a little bit too far away from him to get to it. During the pregame, Glenn, we talked about the keys. Win the turnover battle, be more physical, and limit the big plays. And so far, Campus has come out on top in all three of those areas.
Here, Hutchinson football, the pitch on the outside, and trying to make something happen is McEwen, who really hadn't carried it very much tonight. He loses yardage back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down situation for Hutchinson. 6:33 to go in the ball game, and again, Mike Vernon trying to decide what to do. I believe he's going to go for it here.
He's rolling the dice right here. I don't blame him.
This could be the game right here.
The tough part is it's 4th and 10, so that's a lot of real estate to pick up.
Hutchinson was doing whatever they wanted to in that first quarter play, scored 2 touchdowns, and really have struggled since then. To give on the outside, nothing there, down to about the 30, and the Colts will take over. Rogers trying to get something out of nothing over on that left side and got it back to the 30-yard line, and Colts with a short field in front of them now could seal the deal with the score here with 6:03 to go. A 10-point lead.
Hutchinson has to gamble for turnovers, have to try to take it away.
So the Colts again gave up 2 quick touchdowns to Hutchinson but have not looked back. Now, Hutch was able to get a score here in the third actually in the 4th period of play at the 11:58 mark with the ball with a 1-yard run to make it 31-21. Here, Colts just keep it safe, keep it right up the middle, pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Before long, Hutchinson will have to go ahead and use their timeouts on defense. Otherwise, Campus could just run out the clock.
Williams with the carry, pick up 3, 2nd down and 7. They're going to be content to take as much time off that clock as they can.
Got to give Campus credit. They came in here and they got down 14-0. It's a team that came in 0-7, but they didn't give up. They continued to compete, and they have built themselves a 10-point lead.
There's your timeout taken. 5:23 to go in this 4th quarter play. 5:22 to go, 4th quarter play, 21-31. Hutchinson trailing by 10. And we're going to keep it here. I thought I was going to get away with it. It was just an
equipment problem.
So.
But the bad news is that resets the play clock.
Yeah, it sure did. It reset the play clock, and now they go.
Campus can run more time off the clock now.
Campus winless this year. They've had some close games. Well, the first one against Newton was close. But here the give and the carry close to the 1st down. I believe they do have the 1st down on the 2nd down and 7 effort.
This is huge as to where the mark will be. Is it a 1st down or will it be 4th down?
I think it's going to be 4th. It's going to be 3rd down, 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1 from the 21-yard line.
Again, Hutchinson needs 2 scores. Down 31-21. Campus has the ball at the Hutchinson 21-yard line. The clock is running 4.5 minutes in the 4th quarter.
Colts break the huddle.
They usually run a quarterback sneak in this situation, short yardage.
Here they go, and they'll keep it exactly, and they get the 1st down to the 15.
Things are looking pretty good right now for the Hayesville Campus Colts, and pretty dire for the Salt Hawks.
Yeah, Williams with the carry, and then he was knocked backwards. They'll move the chains. Timeout taken. And now I think Mike Vernon does want to talk things over, I believe, so let's check it. He will talk to his troops, so let's go with that again. And 4:08 to go in the ball game. Hutchinson down 31-21. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hutchinson High School Sports is on the air thanks to these outstanding Salt Hawk boosters. Portfolio Recovery Associates, The Shirt Shack, where the shirt hits the fans. Randy Smith of Apple Lane Animal Hospital. Ryan and Robin Swanson of Phoenix Restoration. Kathy McCormick of Wynn Insurance Group. Reno Alcohol and Drug Counseling Services. The Hutchinson Clinic. Chick-fil-A. Salon B. I Need a Cleaners. And Jackson Meat. Hutchinson High School and Eagle Radio Sports say thank you for your support.
Well, 1st and 10 coming up. Again, a tough job done here in the fourth period of play as Hutchinson again got the first 2 touchdowns of the ball game, Dan, and then gave up 3 unanswered scores. Hutch got a touchdown back, but then turned the ball over again. And
let's see what Coach Yanis and that Salt Hawk defense can dial up here.
1st and 10 for the Colts. Quarterback is Braylon Jay, and he's been the difference in the second half. Again, to give to Williams, positive yardage all the way down across the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. So 2nd down, and we'll say 3 to go for the first down for the Colts. And the clock moving away. 3:49, 3:48. Hutchinson just having a tough time.
Hutchinson's going to bring some extra men up to the line of scrimmage this play. See if they can stop Campus for no gain or maybe a loss or maybe even force a turnover.
Lawrence High 21, Free State 17. That's a heck of a game up there. Lawrence High seeded number 2 right as of now behind Derby. Here's the keep it. A quarterback into the end zone. Just like that. Braylon Jay, he didn't need much to get to the hole. He took it in from 8 yards out for the score. So Braylon Jay with another score here in the fourth quarter. Their second. And from 8 yards out, the touchdown was good. Happens at the 3:18 mark of the fourth. They'll try to point after right now, 37-21. Hutchinson on the wrong end of a 37-21 score. Here's the hold. The kick, it's up and on its way, and it is good. So your score, 3:18 to go in the contest. Campus Colts 38. The Salt Hawks 21. So Hutchinson has got to score and score quickly. They're going to win their second game in a row. We'll be back with the Colts kickoff right after this on the Salt Hawk Radio Network.
Hutchinson Community College and Blue Dragon Athletics are proud to support Hutchinson Salt Hawk football. Whether you're working towards your degree or a busy working individual with limited time to attend class, Hutch CC has what you're looking for. And for those still in high school, Hutchinson Community College's Step Ahead program provides a head start on a quality education, and it may not cost the student anything. Visit hutchcc.edu or call 888-GO-HUTCH for more details. And good luck this season to the Salt Hawks.
38-21, Campus Colts, they came in here to play. They let Hutch get that 2-touchdown lead, and they have been solid. And they don't look like a team that's lost all their games this year, you know what?
They played hard. They've played hard. They played poised. They've made some good things happen for Campus tonight.
So they will kick the football off with 3:18 to go. Bueller ahead of Winfield now 19-10 in that fourth quarter of play. This line is south all over Newton, 41-7. Here's the kick. It's going to bounce and it'll be taken out about the 17-yard line by the Salt Hawks. Upfield for positive yardage, carried back to about the 27-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the 27 as DeBall took the ball and returned it. And Hutchinson, some of the seniors out there, it'll be the last time they played some football right here on this turf field that's used both by the high school and the college as well. By the way, the college will have tomorrow off. JUCO not playing tomorrow. They travel to Garden City next Saturday for a key matchup of 2 Kansas Jayhawk Conference rivals. Chambers on the quarterback, wants to throw the football. Gets the pass away to Rogers, caught at the 29, and falls forward to about the 30. Right out there defensively to get to him.
Dallas Chambers to Braden Rogers, 2 of those Salt Hawk seniors, 18 seniors on this Salt Hawk football team. We've called Isaiah Duvall's number a lot and said his name a lot tonight, Glenn. That's a senior.
So they'll have another game in playoffs, and we really won't know until tomorrow what direction we're going. We'll try to sort that out a little bit, but here's back to pass again. Chambers airs it out, had a receiver out there, but led him a little too much. And
he got open, though, didn't he?
Certainly did. As over on that far side, open was Zach Hogan.
Did a nice job of getting behind the Campus defenders. Just couldn't quite get to the ball to catch it.
Close game at halftime. Hutchinson trailing after, again, 3 straight scores by Newton. Campus to lead at that time, and then Campus came out, got another score. Hutchinson answered back, and so far that's been it for Hutch. Wanting to throw the football down the field, just about caught at the 45-yard line, but in and out of the hands of Hogan. And it brings up a 4th down, and again, you might as well go for it here.
That's right. Other seniors on the offensive side of the ball for Hutchinson include fullback Damon Cantu, offensive lineman Caden Pennington, Levi Allen, Kyler Robinson. All of those guys will get another chance for one more game at least.
Now, Campus could move up with the win here, make them 1-7 if Wichita North. And Wichita North, I believe, did lose, by the way. May South all over and was trailing. Here's the throw, and catch made. Is it good enough for the first down, or were they going to say incomplete? They're going to say incomplete. Campus will take over. So Campus will take over on downs with 2:25 to go, and Dan, it's probably where we're going to set at 38-21, a difference of 17 points. So you're looking at point totals and what have you. Again, Garden City was behind, behind the Salt Hawks with a 2-5 record. They played Great Bend. Don't have a score in on that as of yet.
On the defensive side of the ball, some of the seniors include Taven Smith, Peyton Cahoon, Jalen Moriasi, Junior Jaime, Dylan Peterson.
Yeah, Salt Hawks with 20 total seniors. 10 of those are starters. Keep on the right side. Quarterback keep for the Colts as they're going to just allow time to run off. It's down to the 29, gain of a couple. 2nd down and 8.
Other seniors on defense, Hunter Austin, Selden Jones, Josiah Morgan. Kyler Burnett's another senior starter tight end on the offensive side of the ball. And Jackson Rhodes, unfortunately, had a condition that prevented him from competing on the field this season, but what a good guy.
Yep, doing a fine job helping with stats in our booth to our left. Garden City, by the way, Great Bend leading them 20-7 in football action. So here's the give J to Williams. Williams across down to about the 25-yard line. Again, keeps that clock moving with 1:35 to go. And again, don't forget, folks, if you didn't do the 10 for 10 for JI, you still can when you go home. Just go to HutchPost.com, go to the sports section. You'll find a link in the story there about it. And don't forget also to go to Spangles on the 29th that evening and just say, hey, this is for Gabe. They'll know what to do, especially thanks to Spangles on 4th Street is where that's located. I found out the other day you can still go on 30th, and they'll make sure they get it taken care of. But it is going to be James Clark, the manager at the 4th Street Spangles, or active there, works there, said just to come in and say this is for Gabe. Give across the left side, and a ball carried by Jacob Dorton. Campus carries, gets the first down.
Campus can go to victory formation now.
Yeah, they sure can.
This game's going to end up 38-21.
Tough night for the Salt Hawks. As Hutchinson jumped off to a 14-0 lead. Salt Hawks regular season will end at 2-6. They have to take to the road next week. A destination to be determined.
It'll either be Topeka, Manhattan, Lawrence Free State, or Lawrence, or possibly Junction City.
There they take a knee. Gives up 2nd down and 20 seconds left to go, and they're shaking hands as they leave the field. And dejected bunch of starters out there for Hutchinson, and the Colts with their first win of the season by the score of 38-21. 38-21 is your final. Campus Colts come out winners here tonight at Gowans. We're going to take another break. Come back and give you some of the Medicine Shop in-game capsule. Wrap up your stats for you and get a time chat with Mike Burnham when we return. Again, your final 28-21. Hutchinson on the wrong end of a 38-21 win by the Campus Colts. We'll be back right after this.
The medicine shop. When you drop your prescriptions off, the personal care you'll find there will make you feel